Hello, everybody. We're gonna geek out now. So I'll give it a little bit of time for that ad to finish and people can start coming in. Brian Vox is working on his little slight technical issues we had. Of course, it happens 10 seconds before we go live, but he can be working on that. And let's start with Bionic Dance. What are you working on? And where can people find you? And what kind of projects you got going?
Well, it's easy enough to find me. Just there's my name. I'm on YouTube under that name. As for a project I'm working on right now, I don't know if you're set up in a way where you can't let people share a screen, but I can show you a poster for the animation I'm doing. It's called Quinn Redshift. It's just pure ass pulp space opera. It's basically about some people who are trying to get Earthlings to go to the other planets. Like humanity hasn't gone past Mars yet. And so they're trying to retrieve a refinery device that was stolen that's supposed to help produce the fuel that they need to power the new drive to allow humanity to start exploring the solar system better. But like I say, it's pure ass pulp. So, like Venus is populated by sex kittens. Mars has, well, not little green men, but close enough, that kind of thing. It's got that sort of like, Duck Dodgers, what's the one that Calvin does? Spaceman Spiff. It's got that kind of thing going on. So, yeah, that's my big project right now. I am maybe 5-10 shots away from starting Act 3. And it's almost 15 minutes long so far. I figure it'll probably get around 20-25, maybe even 30 before it's done. So,
RM Raw, Truth Surge, Christine. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I got some pretty good people on there.
Christine Goodrich, she was in the, what was it, the Faithless, not Faithless Females, was it Women of Deconversion? Is she one of them?
I'm not sure. I'm not familiar with that one.
Oh my gosh, that's awesome.
But a couple of these people, they do it professionally and they were a joy to work with. Some of them I did by remote where they just sent me the files, but it was fun. Anyway, okay. So that's what I'm working on.
Yeah, we're gonna bookmark that. I want to talk about that some more. Let's get to Brian. Let's see. Is he frozen? Yeah, he's still frozen.
Either frozen or terrified.
Okay, we'll come back to him. All right, Jen, what are you working on now?
I'm going to start the second season of Patron Saints soon. Because I did 24 the first season, and I'm going to do 24 for the second season. That's about it. I've just been painting in the past month or so. Just taking a break from everything.
I really enjoyed the Patron Saints. I was wondering what happened to it. And is it Lisa for Truth? Someone does something similar. I forget. Someone kind of you inspired somebody. Someone else is doing something very similar. I forget.
Cool.
Yeah. What was it? So I've got really bad OCD, and when I mentioned that, I think you had asked me which patron saint you. Oh, any suggestions? I said, is there a patron saint of OCD? And well, shit, if there is, there actually is one. Oh, let's see. Okay, Brian, 3 times the charm. Let's see if this works. While we're waiting for him, I just want to. We just finished up our series on comparing the Book of Jonah to the Jason and the Argonauts, the older Greek tales.
That was cool.
My next, keep this on the down low, but my next project is a hidden camera expose inside Steadfast Baptist Church in person, and Jonathan Shelley, and maybe try to get to talk to the congregants and maybe even him one-on-one. So that's going to be fun. And then let me share this. This is from Courtney and I. She's the one that brought it to my attention, and I was like, what? No way. Can you guys see that?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, so I don't know. For Bionic Dance, Kate, you probably hit 1 million total views a long time ago, but I consider this a huge deal for us. And so Courtney and I were talking, and we're like, man, 1 million views. What would that be if that was individual people? And she said, well, look it up. So I did. And if our total views in the channel in the 4 years we've done it were individual people, we could fill up Wembley Stadium 11 times. We could fill up Dallas Cowboys AT&T Stadium 13 times. It would fill Sydney Opera House 174 times and Broadway Theater 568 times, which blows my mind if that was individual people. I don't know how long Cats has been running, if they've had 568 individual performances. But, I mean, that's kind of cool. Not that we're anywhere production quality to that, but
Still cool.
I don't know. I consider it a pretty good accomplishment. All right.
And I just checked. I'm at 5,903,185 views.
That is ungodly. But you had like a 12-year head start on me.
That is true. And I have to admit, my viewership started to flag by the end of my atheism career. We'll see what happens when I start producing more regular animated content. I mean, I felt the need to finish Quinn Redshift because if I have too many projects at once, but once that's done and out, we'll see what happens. Hopefully I can start building that base back up.
Yeah. Let's see. Let's start with Jen. And do you want to show everyone that creepy ass talking Deadpool head? That creeps me out. It's too realistic. So, are you a Deadpool freak, Kate?
Dazzler's new album.
Oh, I like Deadpool.
Yeah. Shake him. You have to shake him, right?
Hey, do you think maybe we could go out? I mean, let's catch a movie, grab a bite, maybe set a laundromat on fire.
Does his mouth move too? I thought I saw his jaw moving.
Hold on.
It does move.
Am I Ronaldo, or is that a different person?
Oh man, I could scare the shit out of my kids with that
Okay.
thing.
So, anyways, how do you like your salsa? Sunfire or magma?
There's
Have
also
you
an
always
app.
been you've been a big Deadpool fan,
Oh,
Jen?
for a
Or
while. Yeah. For
how
a
many
while.
are there now? Is there
Two.
like a third one?
Two. There's
Just
just
two.
two. Yeah.
I
One
like
of
the
my
third one.
coworkers back in the day introduced me to Deadpool before like the movie came out and stuff. So yeah. He's
Now-
cool.
If someone can clear something up about Deadpool for me, because I encountered Deadpool in like the 90s and I bought like 2 issues and waited for the next one to come out. And then he like took his mask off, changed his name and became like Agent X or something. And I was really confused, but I liked what I had read. And then all of a sudden it changes completely on me. And I'm like, I got to get back issues, don't I?
That's when he joined the
So-
Agent X. I never
Okay.
heard of that.
X-Force. That's when he joined the X-Force.
That's when his suit turned gray and he joined X-Force along with Wolverine and Thunder something. Forgot.
Well, I'm not
Freaking hero.
I'm not really superhero people. I mean, if it's not, say, The Incredibles or Deadpool, I'm usually not that interested. But I don't know.
Yeah, there's an app that comes with this too. You can download it on your phone, so you can have him just like on, but like off in the corner, and then like you can remotely control him and like freak people out.
Think of this device I saw once where it makes irregular beeping sounds, and that's it. And then you hide it in someone's house, and they go nuts looking for that beep. I don't know. I thought it was funny.
You can also put him in.
Sorry, I'm trying to do 3 things at once. Agent X, I never knew that, but I guess the 3 of us are Gen Xers. Yeah, I think all 4 of us are Gen Xers. So I tell my kids, we were into Deadpool before Deadpool was even a thing, and back then he was played by Brandon Lee, and he wasn't called Deadpool; he's called the Crow because it's the same freaking character, is he not? He can never die, right?
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
But he's not nearly as funny. I mean, for me, that was part of the appeal of Deadpool is that he's a complete nutter. and in like just the best way. He's hilarious. That's why I liked Deadpool. So the Crow, on the other hand, seemed to be wallowing in pathos and ennui, and I wasn't into that.
Mhm.
I mean, that's the thing. When people say, like, are you from Gen X? I'm like, well, the very ass end of it, I'm probably closer to like a millennial or a xennial just in terms of
think we're-
attitude.
I think Kate and I are like elder millennials.
I don't know what I am.
Yeah.
Something like that.
He's a
Right
Gen
there
Y,
in the-
I think. I don't know.
Hmm.
No, we're not. Gen Y?
No, I
Yeah,
think
don't
she's
know
in
how
her
old
kid.
that works.
like my kid.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Then why?
He's
I
a
don't know.
2001 baby, so
It's
Yeah,
every 20 years it switches, I think, right? So some
Yeah.
people are just going to be on the cusp.
Well, 75 baby, so.
Yeah,
So
77.
young. You youngins, you guys are so young. What do you have, Kate? You can save your Tron disc for later if you want, but I want to get a good look at that thing too. And for
Okay.
those of you watching right now, we're going to try very hard because 3 of the 4 of us, well, if Brian comes back, are huge Tron fans, and we're going to try not to talk about Tron too much.
I dabble in Tron.
Well, I suppose I should start actually with the money shot first. I have the
Nice.
tattoo
Lead
going
off with
on.
the.
I'm hoping you
Oh
can see
my
that. I can't see it from
yes.
behind, but got me a Tron tramp stamp. I also have a couple of hoodies.
That's dedication.
Like this one right here is, Tron himself. Right, you
Damn.
can sort of see it there. And I also have one for Sark as well. So,
No.
yeah.
Sark. I would be wearing the Sark one.
So I've got Funko Pop
Nice.
and whatever these are. And these bad boys right here. Right. And I like these because their joints are fully articulated, where a lot of action figures just sort of walk like they're goose stepping. Got this little guy here.
Those action figures, the other ones you had, the what are they called? I forget.
Are they
now.
Dorbies?
Huh?
Are they the Adorbies?
No, the realistic looking ones, the actual
Oh.
soldiers. Brian, can you hear us? Say
I know
something.
where these are from. I can tell you where these are from. They're from a Disney collection, Kingdom Hearts. Actually, I've never
No, I'm
played
thinking, what were
Kingdom
they
Hearts,
called in
but
the movie? Oh, is that actual one of the users? I thought that was one of the guards.
no, this is Tron,
Oh, okay.
right?
Does he glow
so
under
he's
black
not a
light?
user.
You don't.
Um,
Hard.
I really don't know. I have a black light. I should shine it at him someday.
Yeah.
Let's see. There was a time where I wanted to make something for my channel, so I have this. It's not actually Tron, but it's designed after the Tron poster.
That's
You
cool.
see. So there's that, and I have one other figure here.
Whoa.
So there's that. This is actually one thing I kind of like because if you notice these guys right here, they're not colored the way they are in the movie. The outfit should not be blue. Right? If you watch the movie, there's more like this in terms of coloring.
Right.
So it's just a thing. And as we said, I have a disc.
That is so cool. I'd need. Oh, is it like a frisbee? I would need a second one,
Yeah.
and then go in the backyard and try to hit. We could pretend to try to hit each other with them. The original Tron video game didn't have the discs in it, but there was one. What was it? It was called Discs of Tron, wasn't it?
Mm-hmm. Yep. Oh, I played the crap out of that in the 80s. Believe
Super
me.
hard though. You got to jump from platform to platform and dodge and all that. Oh, Brian, let's see. Brian's still trying his ass off. Okay.
It was very odd because you could throw multiple discs too.
That's
Which is
right.
not movie accurate, but what are you going to do?
Yep. Okay, so that was Brian's gonna. I think he might have given up. So that's a shame because his entire apartment is full of it's a lot of Japanese Voltron, Micronauts, a lot of Tron, but he's got one whole room that's a stand-up arcade video. It's got the actual Tron stand-up video game. The whole room is full of just The arcade.
Wow.
What were you showing, Kate?
Well, I'm not usually mint in box people, but I never opened this up. So I've got that as well. The one thing I cannot find is a light cycle.
Huh.
And I mean, I can find a lot of them from that cinematic abortion they tried to call a sequel, but I can't find a light cycle from the original.
Brian, can you hear us? This would be a perfect time for you to.
Yeah.
You can hear us, Brian? Oh, awesome. You're good now. What? Just to piggyback
you
off
hear
of
me?
what Kate just said, she's having trouble finding an actual light cycle replica. I don't know whatever scale, but do you have one, or do you know where to find them?
Are you talking about the original Tomy ones with,
Yeah,
with the ripcord?
Well, it doesn't have to. It just has to be designed after
Or are you
the
talking
actual
Legacy?
movie. No. As far as I'm concerned, that doesn't exist. But I mean,
Most
it doesn't
of them
have
are
to
really
have
hard
any
to find.
special features, just as long as it looks
No.
right.
You get a model kit. They make model kits.
Oh, he's broken up. Is he broken up again for you
neck-
guys?
Is probably the next
It's like he's mid sneeze.
Mm-hmm.
motherfucker.
That's all
Yeah, your
right.
sound is in and out like you wouldn't believe.
We'll see if it maybe fixes itself here. In the meantime, I guess while we're on action figures, you know what? You guys show one of your coolest things. So what all right. When you guys were talking about how old you are, 1974, was it? Yeah, 74. A friend of mine gave me a birthday present, and it just happened to be the same year. And it was this dumb game. I thought this stupid dumb, like what is it? A board game? And he gave me the. I still have it. The Dungeons and I don't know where's the camera. Oh, yeah.
Nice.
The Dungeons and
Wow.
Dragons original rule books. There's
Wow.
this one, Men in Magic. They're very thin. They're almost like pamphlets. Underworld and Wilderness Adventures and Monsters and Treasures. So it was 3 just little pamphlets, and it came in a little box, and it came with some dice. And my friend had already started learning how to play, so we learned together. And that was the year I guess D&D came out, and so we hit the ground running with it. And we've been D&D players since the initiate. And the only one of them has there's a tiny little pin mark on that one. I don't know if you can see it. But otherwise, these are mint. I don't know how much they're worth right now. Not that I'll ever sell them. And I don't know what this is if it came with it, but it's a chainmail. That was I don't know if that's separate from Dungeons and Dragons. The chainmail, the original chainmail rules. But yeah, that's my prize. That's my flagship of my collection.
That's
Pretty
really
proud
cool.
of that. And really everything else, I'll show it a little bit here and there throughout the show, but really everything else is Matrix action figures, Matrix. I got a Matrix Powerade unopened. Powerade put out Matrix for a promo. So that's all I've got. So you guys have to carry the show unless people want to see a lot of Matrix shit.
Well, we can move Deadpool.
I don't know if anyone plays Fallout.
Oh yeah, Fallout.
And behind them is some bottle caps, some Nuka-Cola bottle caps. Let's see.
That is.
Come on.
Yep.
And
Is that
some
those
Star
are
Wars
metal
stuff.
posters?
What?
Is that a metal poster? The Nuka-Cola?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, my daughter's got that exact. I don't know if it's the same, the actual same graphic, but she has a metal Fallout poster in her room.
I know they put out a few of them. I have some other stuff up there, like there's a Nuka-Cola bottle and some actual like Nuka-Cola Quantum because Jones Soda put some out. And I've also got some like Babylon 5 stuff up there and the Orville, you know. Oh, and the Planet Express ship from Futurama's up
Oh,
there.
cool. I love Futurama.
Oh, wow. Oh, my gosh.
Oh yeah,
I'm
you
just
see it?
seeing that arcade game back there. Holy crap.
Whoa.
It's the original Tron video. arcade
Now, I'm
game.
gonna be
Ah.
looking sideways as I'm talking to you guys because my
That's fine.
computer is actually on
You
the
sound great. You
ground.
sound great. Perfect. Well, let's get you caught up, Brian. Who are you? Where can people find you? And what are you working on currently?
Fuck. Oh my god, this is shenanigans, isn't it? I don't know. I'm Brian Vox. I'm an artist. I do various art, Micronauts and sci-fi stuff, Shogun Warriors, but other art as well. And what the hell? There's like an ad that popped up for me here. That's good.
Is it?
Fucking A, this is giving me every bit of problem possible. See, my computer was on the ground under my desk, so I use a separate monitor for doing art. So I had to like squeeze back behind my desk, pull my computer up. I didn't even know it had a fucking camera.
No, that is a really nice, clear picture, and the sound is good. So this is what you need to be using from now on, Brian. This is good.
Obviously, I'm like, God damn it. I guess this is going to come up from the background. Anyway, yeah. So annoying.
So you've had back at your old place, you had basically a virtual arcade. Like people could come in and have a fun night playing all the arcade games. But as far as the huge stand up, the originals, that Tron and one other, I think is the only one you still have. The rest are in
I only have
storage.
Tron and Star Trek.
There was a Star Trek arcade game?
Really, really rare. Yeah,
Huh.
really
Because
rare.
I know I remember the Star Wars game with the vector art.
This is
where you
vector
did the
also.
trench run and all that.
Yeah, this is Vector 2. See, this is what sucks is because the things I want to show, I can't bring over to the computer like that.
I don't know, did they make Bluetooth webcams? I'm sure they must.
I don't know. I mean, I don't do this stuff ever, so except when it's this guy up here.
If it's a
He
laptop
makes
and
me-
it's charged, you could unplug it and walk it around.
I'm wondering, is there a way for me on my side to show like pictures? No, video
Yeah.
file.
Can
Hmm.
someone in the chat?
Down below
allow
it
you
says
guys-
share.
Yeah.
That's
It's
the
only
one.
So
given
if you
me-
share and then I accept it in, right? And that's how it works.
Yeah, but it's
That's-
only given me video file or share screen.
Share the screen
Now-
and then click over to what you're trying to share.
Well,
It should give you the option to share a window, though. I mean, is what you want to show us already up on your computer? Because if it's not, it won't give you the option. But if you
Yeah,
bring it
no.
up and then click share, you should be able to tell it like just this application window.
let me try something. Fuck. This. Oh God. Sorry. Yeah, okay. Like I texted Jim. We all now know who the oldest person here is. Because I'm.
Wait,
Clueless.
you are older than me by like a month. Not even a month.
Old enough to not know what the hell I'm doing. Obviously. Let's see. Where the fuck am I here? I'm just gonna try to see if I can get a picture. I don't know if I'll be able to. Fuck.
Okay.
Aw.
While we're waiting on that, Jen, what else do you have? I see the Thanos gigantic glove
Yeah.
up there.
This guy.
You know what I haven't seen? Is it a two-part? What is what are the two? The end. What is that? Is that Avengers or X-Men? I don't know any of this,
What,
but I know
Endgame?
there's like a two-part where like, spoiler alert, like half of them die and Thanos snaps his fingers. Or something. I haven't seen any of those.
This is from Infinity War. All right.
Okay.
All the different like sound effects,
Oh shoot!
and then it was switched. And then this one is the one that Iron Man made in Endgame that Hulk wore. Just
Oh,
never-
Iron Man made one, huh? I didn't
Yeah.
even know that. That's cool.
And there's inside is like pulleys, you know, for your hands.
Oh,
Yeah.
cool.
And
And up on the shelf there's a whole bunch of are those
I got a whole bunch of
little
crap.
figurines.
I got
Avengers.
all the Avengers guys.
I don't know.
We got
Masters of the Universe.
Masters of the Universe.
You know the like like
Nah,
like my Matrix action figures. If you have Neo or Agent Smith or Morpheus, cool. Those are never going to be worth anything. If you have those, you know, those white ghost twins in Reloaded that can pass through walls and shit. If you
Yeah.
have like the off characters, here's okay. All right, he's
Ah.
trying. There's the Tron. Yeah, we see it, Brian. Awesome. Oh, dude, I so want to play that
Wild.
right now.
I mean, my favorite arcade game from the 80s, I'd have to say, is probably Galaga, but Tron is definitely up there.
As far as playability, Galaga was fun. Tron is just exponentially more hard. But at the time, Brian and I, when we went to high school together, we've known each other forever. We probably could have bought a Maserati with all the quarters we pumped into video games. Back when you had to go and put a quarter in at an arcade. And video games, you know, this was before Pong even. So yeah,
Oh
and
gosh.
so we got really good. At Tron, I think I hit like level 30, where it was me, my light cycle, and the whole top was light cycles. And actually, it gets easier once the top of the screen is lined with light cycles. It's super easy. You just make a little box for yourself and slow down and let them run into each other. The really hard ones, when it's like 6 or 8 cycles, that's when you have to do patterns. But yeah, oh shit.
Oh, nice. Yeah, that's what my wall scroll is based on, that one.
That's really cool too. You had that made, Brian?
I did.
Fucking cool.
I mean, I took my characters, Sandra and Dewey, and just recreated that poster, but me style. I don't know if you can read it. It says, "A world outside religion where logic prevails over faith, one mind at a time."
Is that a unique piece, or you have more of them?
No, I've only got the one. I was thinking about selling them, but I wasn't sure about like copyright issues.
Oh.
So,
well, if you just sell it through your, under the table, instead of
Any other?
what is like Teespring, every once in a while, I don't mean to copyright infringe, but every once in a while, a logo of mine, it'll be repurposed, and so they'll take it down and say no, it's copyright infringement. Same with the YouTube channel. You know that. You guys know that.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
too well.
yeah. Just a 6-second clip of the Oprah Winfrey was interviewing some psychic medium, and literally 6-second clip from her show, and they didn't take the video down. They just stole all the monetization for that video. It went all to the Oprah Winfrey show.
I have been able to successfully fight back claiming fair use. When something legit falls under fair use, they'll go, well, all right, and they'll give you the monetization back. So, but I mean, it's been a while, but I have done it successfully.
Yes, a lot of people. We spent so many quarters. Yeah, I mean that was saving up. I was addicted to World of Warcraft for 4 years. Hardcore raiding guilds, 5 days a week, and then PvP on Saturdays. It was an addiction. But back then, going to the arcade was an addiction as well.
Yeah.
And you can end up spending a lot of money.
So I have these guys.
What is? Oh, is that Tony Stark?
It is Tony Stark.
Yeah.
We get these at the Comic-Con that's across the border in Canada every year, but there hasn't been one in about 18 months. And it's from a mom and pop shop, and they make them and they number them. They're handmade out of whatever they print off. So every time we go, we get a couple. So we have like all the Ghostbusters, all the Avengers. I have like Jaws, Little Shop of Horrors. Working on Futurama, stuff
That's
like
cool.
that.
We saw. Did you guys see the big alien that Brian was showing?
No.
It was a huge. It was probably like it comes up to maybe your waist. It was a huge alien figure,
Like xenomorph alien or something else?
like from like Ridley, like the Alien
Xenomorph.
movie. Yeah, like the
Okay,
alien.
so xenomorph then, yes.
Yeah.
Well, one thing that I decided to do a little while ago, and I think it's actually my most recent video, was I had this. Like, I made this to look like from Back to the Future.
Great Scott.
And inside, well, actually, it's only mediocre, Scott. Inside it, I put this. Right? You can't really see the color, at least I can't. It's green. It's a very decent green. But, yeah, so I put this inside the case and made it look like I was taking out some plutonium or something. Ah, nice.
That remember in pharmacies, the drive-through pharmacies, when you had to put your that's what that looks like. The
Yes.
little thing that
It is. It is this. It's a pneumatic carrier. I usually saw them at banks, but that's exactly what it is. It's
Oh, look. She's got the I did you guys see the documentary on DeLorean, like actually what happened?
Yeah, I watched that.
Oh, dude. Yeah.
So you guys were talking about like old school games.
Oh shit.
And it's not the worst game Atari ever made.
It's
Or
not. I
Go
know.
With-
I played it. I played it on Atari back in the day. I had this.
I have to admit, I never really understood the game.
It's not. But
Oh,
Which
it's-
one is it?
It's to fall in a hole and get the fuck out of the hole.
it's so stupid.
Was it Pitfall? Which one was that?
E.T.
Oh,
The
E.T.
infamous.
I mean, because I remember you could extend your neck all the way up like
That-
ET could, and
But
you
the
would
worst
float.
part was like the tinny background music.
That's right.
John Mint Tetris.
Well,
I think Brian has not every. Do you have every Atari 2600 game plus the not the replica, not the remake? He has the original 2600 game console still.
I gave mine to my
Wow.
nephew. Oh, big mistake.
Yep.
Yeah,
I
they made
definitely,
quite a
like,
few
I
different-
had a hard time convincing my hippie peacenik parents to let me have a video game system at all. What they did instead was bought me an old trash 80 Coco 2, and I used that. It was the one like the old Radio Shack computer that when you turn it on, it goes
TI-99?
directly to basic.
Yeah,
That one.
TI-99. Those were awesome. Like silver, kind of silver.
No,
Black
mine
and
was
silver?
mine was more like an off-white.
Oh, was it a
It was a color computer too.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about, and now I'm just drawing a blank.
But I mean, I did manage to get some cartridges for it that would let me play actual games, the kind of thing my parents didn't want me to play, like Dungeons of Daggerath was one of them. That kind
Oh.
of thing.
Oh
Yeah.
boy.
All right. Well, this I think is my favorite. This was when I went to go watch The Matrix. I didn't the original one. I didn't have any context. I no preconceptions. I thought it was another sci-fi movie. But that first opening scene when she pulled that shit on those cops, on those, holy shit! I mean, that did it. And then of course when Neo wakes up in the pod, when he spoiler alert if you haven't, it's been 20 years, but. When he wakes up in the pod and he realizes he's been living in a dream his whole life, holy shit, it changed everything. And since
What year
then,
did that come out? Was it
1999.
99?
Mhm.
Yeah, because in the movie Morpheus, he's trying to explain to Neo what the real world is, and he said, "So it's not 1999." He goes, "No, it's more like 2199." We really don't know what year it is, right? In the real world. But then, another spoiler alert: if you watch the entire trilogy, you realize that Neo is the sixth iteration of the Neo. The program keeps rebooting because it's a complicated process. But that's the sixth Neo. For the Matrix to survive, it has to wipe out Zion over and over again, and then let it thrive again. It has to be that wrench in that fly in the ointment, right? And so. If that Neo was the sixth iteration and that Morpheus didn't know that, and he thought it was the year 2199, add 1,200 more years to that, and that's what year it really is. You see, if it's a 200-year period for Zion to keep growing, 200 times 6, 1,200 years. So whatever that is, 32.99. That's what year it really is in that movie. And of course, Matrix 4 is coming out. Do not put anything in the comment section. I'm not even watching the previews. Fuck you. I will find you if you put something in the comment section right now.
Actually,
know
it turns out
anything.
that Morpheus is really Neo's father, just like Darth Vader. I'm kidding.
No, you broke up, Kate. Say it again.
Never mind, bad joke. The moment's lost.
Ah, damn it.
I was making a Luke on your father joke with the Matrix.
Did
I
you
don't know,
know the original Neo was supposed to be Will Smith, and the original Morpheus, not Tommy Lee Jones. Oh, I forget who the original Morpheus was supposed to be. Yeah, and Will Smith backed out to star in Wild Wild West.
Yep.
Oh,
Dude. I mean, he's kicking himself.
well, I
think
remember reading something about, I forget, I think it was Men in Black versus Wild Wild West, where the producer wanted the end to be a giant spider. And he couldn't convince them to do it in Men in Black. And so he went on to produce Wild Wild West and finally got his giant spider. But like for some reason he was obsessed with it. It's just very strange.
Well, as long as I got Brian in the show today, well, there he's gone already. Okay, this is so weird because Brian and I just happened to. This is an old. You guys remember the '80s ninja craze and the martial arts, the ninja
Oh,
craze?
sure.
Ninja magazine.
I don't remember that though.
I'm not going to pull it out, but just trust me. And if you guys don't. If someone doesn't trust me, I'll send you a private message. But there's a photo spread of Brian and I in here. We play simulated sexual assaulters and we get car keys shoved in our eyes and grocery bags shoved in our face. It's a martial arts technique. It walks you through step by step. And so we tried to assault this woman as her and her kid are getting into their car, and I get car keys to my eyes, and it was pretty cool. And the last one I've got, the last cool one. This is the Sentinel. You remember the squiddies that came after the Nebuchadnezzar? And it's heavy. And I never been taken out of the box, and I've heard that if it's been 20 years, you don't take it out of the box. I mean, it's unusable now because the little squiddy, legs, the tentacles, they've been wrapped up for 20 years now, and people that do take it out of the box now, they said they snap like a twig. So it's permanently probably coiled in that position. You won't be able to pose it. Yeah.
Well, I imagine anyone who bought it wouldn't take it out of the box anyway.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm a
Well,
box
What else you
taker
guys
out.
got?
Yeah, oh, me too. I think toys are meant to be played with.
I have I have a whole shelf back here I have like all of the Doctor Who pops, like a collection of them, and I took them all out of the box. And my husband has his like Marvel ones and stuff, and he's like, "Don't take them out of the box."
Well,
Well, the trick is just, I guess, buy two, right? That's what I
That's what he
probably should have
does.
done. Yeah.
another thing I collect is license plates, and I have a whole bunch of them
I
that
know
are a bit
that
on the
one.
geeky side. Okay, number
I'm
one,
finding right up
this
there.
This is the 555 of license plates. If you want a generic license plate, it's the 2GAT123. Oh, and by the way, that's Marty McFly's license right
Cool.
there. This is from The Last Starfighter. That one is from Spaceballs. That one's from Breaking Bad. That one is from Back to the Future 2, Ghostbusters, Knight Rider, Ferris Bueller, also Breaking Bad, Buckaroo Banzai. That one's actually American Graffiti, even though it says THX 138. George Lucas directed both of them.
I get it.
Let's see. We got the Blues Brothers and Jurassic Park. That one is Arrested Development. That one's Seinfeld, also Knight Rider, and Miami Vice.
A new
The,
start.
The Lawyer Up. That was that's Saul. What's his name? Better Call
Goodman,
Saul.
I think.
Saul
I think
Goodman.
it's Goodman. Yeah.
That's right. That was his license. I wonder. See, Man, is there going to be another season of that? There was like what 2 seasons? Where did it leave off? I don't even know. I was way into that, and then it stopped.
He
I
just
haven't
had
actually watched it. I've only watched Breaking Bad.
What's his face just had a heart attack. Bob
Who?
Odenkirk.
Bryan Cranston? No.
Oh, Bob
Bob
Odenkirk.
Odenkirk.
Bob
Did he
Odenkirk.
die from it?
No, he was
Okay,
okay.
good.
It was actually on set.
Wow.
Yeah.
God. You know what? I mean, Better Call Saul is awesome, but Bob Odenkirk, he shines. He will never be any better than Mr. Show with him and David Cross. You guys used to like that? You
Yep.
watched it? Oh, it was awesome. It's a skit comedy, but it's just damn awesome.
I liked him in How I Met Your Mother.
Oh, I don't watch that. That's with the girl from American Pie, right?
Well, I think of her as the girl from Buffy, but yes.
The one that went to
Yeah.
band camp.
Started on American Pie. I went to go see American Pie when it came out, and I went with my husband and a bunch of his buddies, and I was the only chick there, and we all grew up together all through high school, and we were all in marching band together, and yes, we went away to band camp. And who was the flute player?
Do you have anything you want to tell us then, Jen?
Hear my husband yell from the other room.
Hey, anything's a dildo if you're creative enough, I guess.
Or limber enough.
Like,
Strictly information.
Ooh, what's that?
Nice.
That's the alien, yeah.
Oh, that's a xenomorph. Cool.
Oh, I got another alien.
We got,
What is
we
that?
got
Got another alien.
Venom.
Oh, Venom, yeah.
Big old Venom. He's big.
It's hard to see in this lighting.
That was a really good movie. It's better than I thought it was going to be. Brian has I know you're not going to pull it down off the shelf. It's way too valuable to even touch. I feel weird just looking at it. Oh yeah. What is that?
Okay, why is it acting like I have a green screen on? Hold on
Yeah,
a
it's a
sec.
glare.
I don't see any way to turn that off. That's a shame. But it's like an alien sort of fetus looking thing.
Oh, okay. Is
Yeah.
that from Resurrection?
Is that from a movie?
Nope. It's just, your typical Roswell Area 51 kind of gray.
All right, so Brian has, I guess it might be the number one thing he's got, but there's a. Do you remember the original King Kong movie, the black and white? It was kind of. Correct me if I'm wrong, Brian. Not claymation. Is it stop motion? Is that the style of photography? Stop motion. Okay, so you can explain it better, but you have one of 3 actual stop motion skeletons from the original King Kong movie. The actual
The
ones that were
armature,
used in
yeah.
the movie. Was it?
yeah, there's more than 3, but there's very few. And it's pretty much priceless. What I'm doing is I'm gonna use my phone
so cool.
camera.
That is
So
so
when
cool.
we talk about something, then I can go. I'll just hold the camera on it, and then that way
Okay.
you can at least see it.
Cool. Let's see.
I forgot about this bad boy.
Oh, is that Flynn? No.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's Flynn when he absorbed
Oh,
all
you got
the
the
energy.
infiltrator. Where did you
Yeah.
find that?
I just found it online.
Oh, okay, so you got it online. Yeah. Those are pretty. That one's actually really hard to come by. Did you get the other ones from Walgreens?
No, I got those off Amazon.
Oh,
Well, and the thing is, like I said, they came in a Kingdom Hearts collection, so they came with like Goofy and some chick I didn't
yeah. Well,
recognize.
those are
Packed
different
in.
ones. Those are different ones. There's NECA, and then there's the Kingdom Hearts ones. Which the Kingdom Heart ones, I wasn't about ready to buy those because the figures didn't look that great, and then they came with stupid ass Kingdom Heart figures.
I like
Yeah, that's
them.
pretty
Well,
decent. Yeah,
well,
he
that's
was decent.
That's the Kingdom Hearts
He wasn't
collection.
bad. But NECA did the whole. They did Tron, Flynn, Sark, and then they have the Infiltrator Flynn, which that's the hardest one to get. So you got the hardest one. But Let me go I'm going to put the camera next to them.
And this right here is my precious.
Nice.
You know, so
Oh, it's
Some-
got the
sometimes I
elven
wear it, but
engraving
not
on the
very
inside
often.
of it.
on the outside, but yeah.
What? I thought it was a. Oh, is it on the outside? I forgot.
Oh,
The
Here, let
engraving.
me.
It's on the outside.
Yeah.
If it,
Oh,
it's
nice.
not, it's hard to. Yeah, it gets blurry. But no, it's there. It's just
It's an elfish.
yeah. Very foofy writing, if you ask me. But you know, it looks too much like cursive, in my never humble opinion.
What is the geekiest thing you can recite? Like if you're at a bar and they're like, "Oh, you think you're a nerd?" And you say, "Yeah, because I can recite what." Is there a line from a movie or something that you know by heart that you can be like to prove your geekitude?
Conan,
Greetings.
what is best in life?
To hold on, to see the women, to pillage, to take their women,
Crush your
and see
enemies,
them laid
see them
before
driven
you.
before you, and to hear the lamentation of the women.
Lamentations.
Greetings, Starfighter. You have been recruited by the Star League to defend the frontier against Zur and the Kodan Armada.
Oh shit, Jen, you gotta have one,
Oh, nice.
Gosh.
dude. Okay, you're winning the geek off right now, Kate.
Yeah.
I thought
Jim.
Brian would be clearly in the lead by now, but
Hey,
I don't
Jim.
know. I can say a few movies verbatim, but I don't know.
you
What's
guys tell me what movie this is. Anal Nathrak us fas bethud dok nalviene.
Oh, that sounds so familiar. It's not Ghostbusters 2, is it?
No.
Okay.
Mordred, Merlin, Guinevere.
Okay. Excalibur, then?
Yep.
The one with Sean Connery?
No,
I think that
so,
had Sean Connery in it. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know.
Is
It's
it?
been a long,
so
long
long.
time.
That's the charm of making, because is it Guinevere? Is that King Arthur's sister who becomes a sorceress and then she charms him and forces him to have sex with her so they can make Mordred, who ends up killing King Arthur, and she recites the charm of making and freezes King Arthur in the block of ice. Remember?
Let's
That's
see.
okay. I'm full geek mode now.
Sorry, I'm just looking at the cast. Wow, Liam Neeson, really?
No
Patrick
shit.
Stewart?
Okay,
My word.
I gotta go back. And watch
Assuming
that
we're
again.
talking about the same movie, Excalibur,
Best,
1981.
Yeah, it has the Flight of the Valkyries or the Ride of the Valkyrie in it. Dun dun
Ride of the
dun dun.
It's been a really long time. But apparently, Arthur was played by Nigel Terry, and Morgana was Helen Mirren.
Wow.
Oh, there it is, guys. You can see it. That was actually that's the skeleton that they used to put the I guess the clay
palm.
on. Yes, that's one of the actual no shit skeletons that they used in the movie.
So
Wild.
Oh,
I thought there was only 3. Brian says there's more than that, but they used several for the movie. I think that's his. Oh no, what is this? He'll tell us later. Oh, King Kong. That's actually a strip of. That's a clipping. It's a cutting room floor clip. Oh, dude. Oh, and this is Clash of the Titans. See? Did you see that? Or the Medusa and the. Oh no, was it Jason and the Argonauts? Damn it! Yeah, that's Clash of the Titans. There's Medusa. And there's the Labyrinth. What was his name? Oh,
It's
what's that bold dude?
the Minotaur.
Minotaur.
Oh,
That's right.
oh. Sorry, you said Labyrinth, and I was picturing David Bowie.
Oh, wait till Brian gets back. He will tell you. Well, I'll tell the story. You guys, you've heard of Casa Bonita, famous restaurant in Colorado? Casa Bonita. It was featured once in South Park. It's got cliff divers. It's less Mexican food and more just a show. Kind of like medieval times, but it's cliff divers and pirate treasure and all kinds of.
All right.
Anyway, right next door to that, there was a magic shop. Brian and I used to go in there all the time. The guy in there was the hand model for Labyrinth. That wasn't David Bowie. Remember when he's juggling those crystal balls? This was the guy that actually, and that is not CGI. He was actually doing that shit. He's a magician.
Mhm.
It's fucking crazy.
Cool.
Morgana, that's right, Morgana, not Guinevere. Guinevere was the the
They're old.
Well,
King
it's-
Arthur's Bride that ended up
Yeah.
cheating with was it Lancelot?
Lancelot.
That's right.
They're a whole dagger, half a day.
I vaguely remember, like, this might be the only scene I remember, is Lancelot at one point waking up butt naked with a sword through his side.
That's right.
It's like the only part of the movie I remember was watching him just try to pull that out of his side. It was crazy.
That's right. Oh, we got to go back and watch that now. What else do you guys got? I'm tapped out. Oh, one last thing. Once a year, my local atheist, the Metroplex Atheist, a little atheist group, and they're the oldest atheist group in Texas. They're older than Atheist Experience in the atheist community of Austin, even. So once a year, we have a holiday party, a solstice party. We get together and we do a white elephant exchange. It's just dumb gifts, and half of them are usually like bottles of booze. And we wrap them, and then you go. You know how that works, right? You go up and you pick, and then you can. If you
Yeah.
don't like what you get, you can pass it off. Well, I got stuck with this shit. I don't know if you can see it. Angel and Shepherd action figure. Bible Quest
Oh no.
with the little sheep. It's the Angel and Shepherd. So you know what? Fuck it. I'll just leave it in the box. It's $30. Who knows?
They make I think Mormon ones too. I've seen.
Is that
They make
another?
like Joseph Smith.
Oh, really? Is that another disc?
Nope, this is Xena's Chakram.
I knew it looked familiar. And does it go? Oh, that's Kroll. I was
That's
thinking of
the
Kroll,
glaive.
aren't I?
Yeah, that's the glaive. No, this
The
is Xena's Chakram. Anyway. Yeah, speaking of like religious action figures and stuff, there is a video game on Steam that is said coming soon for ages that I really want to play. It's called Pope Simulator. And I want to see just how fucked up it can get, or if they limit you, because it seems like it's being made by people who actually like give a damn rather than being tongue in cheek. And so maybe they won't let you do some really screwed up stuff. But I wonder, like, can you condemn entire countries to hell or something? I want to give it a try.
Gavin just said, I wonder if it's anything like Goat Simulator.
Is there anything like Goat Simulator? I want to play it.
Oh shit.
Nothing
Brian-
simulates a goat properly.
Brian, we would be remiss if we didn't talk about Micronauts a little. You've got your other camera posed on. Can I go to just that? No, it won't let me. Oh yeah, it will. Solo
Oh,
layout.
is that Fallout?
Check
Yep.
this. Oh, can you guys still? Sorry, Kate. Show that in a minute. These
That's
are.
cool.
So Brian and I, when we were growing up, we didn't. Star Wars action figures were the big thing. Every kid had them, but for some reason, Brian and I were so into these Micronauts. They're Japanese, and so they've been re-released as Cosmo Men and some other stuff. But we basically had the entire collection. Well, I went off to boot camp, and my mom sold all mine in a garage sale. And it hurts. It hurts still to think about. But Brian kept them all, and short of I think the rocket tubes and maybe one or two other, he has the entire complete set of Micronauts. Every one of those I had and could name. We used to play with these out in the backyard, and they're interchangeable. So their arms will come off, and you could like see that big red dude, the big Biotron, the guy with the red breastplate down at the bottom. He could come off, and that red thing becomes like a vehicle. So you can kind of like Legos, but not as interchangeable. It was just cool as shit.
I'm reminded vaguely of like Erector sets and Capsella, if you remember Capsella.
Mm-hmm.
No.
Yeah, it's like they were like a crossbreed between the best action figure line ever made and Lego and Capsella and Erector sets, and they were actually the pre-Transformers. Actually, there's bits of this toy line that over the years eventually became what people know as Transformers.
Wow.
I never knew that.
So there wouldn't be any Transformer, any of your fancy Transformers without Micronauts.
Companion Cube keychain on
Is that-
a Fallout backpack.
Fallout, yeah,
Nice.
that's what it looked like.
Yep.
You know what's the coolest
It's,
thing on Fallout? I watched my girls playing it. I'll walk into the room and like there's a mock radio station. You're walking through the old dusty town, and so that radio station and what I don't know, man. Whoever built that video game, I mean, it's really in depth. They went to the trouble of actually. Someone had to do all the voiceover for just hours and hours of being a radio DJ on an old transistor radio.
Well, it's the same thing with the Grand Theft Auto games because they have radio stations. Like they'll have talk radio that goes for like an hour, and they have 2 stations of it.
Wow.
It's crazy.
It's crazy. They kind of did the same thing with Cyberpunk 2077. That game has its own issues, but there's TV stations where you can watch like talk shows and all kinds of like news and stuff. It's wild.
That's the same thing for sports games too, because the sports announcers have to sit down for hours and hours.
Let's see what else I got. What else you got? Oh, this is so lame. So lame. I just thought they were going to be worth $1 million. But remember the old McDonald's Beanie Baby? Or these? What are these? Yeah, Beanie Babies, right?
Huh.
Oh, you can't see this one because it's green. One of them, the green screen is. See that? That one's invisible. You remember these? The Beanie Babies?
Oh yes.
Who knows? If they're not worth something by now, they're not worth anything. Oh, and so I've been a huge Vampire Freak too, Anne Rice, and so the Vampire Lestat graphic novel. What is that?
This is Susan Ivanova, Commander from Babylon 5.
Oh,
Also,
okay.
Jakar and Marcus.
Never seen that.
Oh, imagine how lucky you are to still have that ahead of you to see Babylon 5 for the first time. I
it-
wish I could go back and watch it for the first time again.
Really? Okay.
Mind
okay.
you, I will
Is
say
it-
this: the first season is a hell of a slog, but if you don't watch it, you won't understand seasons 2 and 3 and 4.
I'm willing to put in the time if you say it's worth it. Is it as good or close to as good as Firefly? Say.
I would object to the comparison.
Oh, is it okay?
Let's put it this way: people keep saying that Deep Space Nine ripped it off.
Oh, it was before Deep Space Nine.
Hmm. I mean, not very before, but before.
And some of the best writers in history. Harlan Ellison wrote for it.
Hmm.
And he
DC
don't write for
Fontana,
nothing.
Harlan Ellison.
of Star Trek fame, DC Fontana wrote episodes.
Yeah.
Mhm. Yeah, excellent writing on that show.
It was
And
that
Star Trek.
oh, what the hell is his name now? Why am I blanking? David Gerald wrote for it.
Mhm.
Now I have my own feelings on the guy. He's a bit of a jerk, but he's a decent writer.
Some people you just have to enjoy what they create, not really who they are, you know?
Like Orson Scott Card.
Rob Zombie.
Rowling.
Okay, hold on. If we're going to talk about the Orville. So here's one of the shuttlecraft from the Orville.
Cool.
Oh, nice.
Here's the Orville.
And those Eagle Moss? Are those
They're-
the Eagle Moss ones?
I don't know. I just know I like them because they're cool.
Are they partially die cast and have little oval black stands?
Yes.
Yep, those are nice. Those are really nice.
Oh no shit! I had a small Sentinel. I forgot all about that guy. I might pull him out of the box. So I guess the trailers for Matrix 4 came out yesterday or day before, and my wife and at least 3 other people online, because they know I'm a freak about it, and they sent me the previews, and I'm not clicking play. I don't want to know shit. I don't want to even watch the previews. I don't want to have any backstory. I'm going to go into this cold, and I may
I've
or may
expressed
not-
that sentiment many times before.
right. And you know what? I want to do it. Well, of course, it's going to be opening night. I swear to Christ, no babies. I don't want anyone talking. I will make a scene. I will make a scene.
I have one
I
of
don't-
my toys from 1984.
Well, oh wow.
Is that my
Oh,
pretty
nice.
pony? Or-
Okay, give me a sec then.
Original flop.
That's an original one, huh?
Yeah,
I'm not a brony, but it's just cool.
yeah. 1984 is stamped on her.
Have you seen how much it's worth now, or is it
Oh,
actually
she's
worth
filthy.
something?
I don't know. She's probably not worth anything. And
You
then
never
Funko
know.
Pop started making them, so I had to get. I was so into My Little Ponies. Oh my god, like more than Barbies. I was a pony girl. Oh, forget it. Gizmo.
Now, not just Gizmo. This guy is original. This guy was
More
out when the
original.
movie came out. That's when I got him.
You're a gizmo. Gizmo
shit.
caca. Magwai.
Okay, this is really embarrassing. Should I tell this? You know what? My life's an open book. Screw it. In high school, my high school sweetheart named my Gizmo, and I said, "Why?" Because when you get it wet, it turns into a monster.
Oh, that's bad.
And you probably shouldn't
I'm
feed
sorry.
it
I
after midnight.
apologize.
You probably shouldn't feed it after midnight.
That's bad.
Well, I have
Bad Jim. Bad Jim.
Damn it. Oh shit.
app was on Fallout.
Yeah. Good old Gizmo.
Do you have a Barbie car for him to ride into?
I don't know. I never was into Barbie. I love like stuffed animals and stuff, but
Me
not
too.
so much just straight up dolls. I don't know why.
I had so many stuffed animals on my bed growing up. I only slept in a tiny little nook of my bed. And each of my stuffed animals had a name and a backstory. And who they were friends with and who they couldn't sit next to. Yeah.
Sorry, I'm stuck on that.
That's it, man. You guys win. I know I didn't have many collectibles. The ones I do have, I get really into it. One specific thing. I don't have a huge wide range of. Oh, what is that?
Mjolnir.
Oh yeah. What? Can you say the name of it?
Mjolnir.
Mjolnir. And it has like the engraving.
Oh shit.
You have a white
That's funny.
armadillo. It has like the engraving around
I'm
it.
sorry, I could not have heard that correctly. Did you say it has a white armadillo?
You know, was there a white armadillo on you?
Oh, yes. I mean, she's more gray, but the lighting was terrible, so.
What is the name of that hammer? I know it's got a lot of what?
Mjolnir.
Mjolnir.
Yes.
Those Scandinavian names have they're really skimpy on the vowels.
And this is a replica. This is like a actual like it's heavy.
How are you picking it up though?
Worthy, obviously.
I'm worried.
I
Yeah.
think
someone
that's
in the
it.
chat mentioned
Unless people want to see my Anne
Transformers,
Rice.
that's the
Out of
fans.
this.
Where the hell is my
Fanfare
box?
this-
Oh, nice.
That is a transponder? It is, isn't it? Transponder from Star Trek? No.
Transponder?
I don't know. What's it called? I'm not a Trek
Communicator.
communicator. That's it.
Communicator, man.
Enterprise Bridge, Lieutenant Uhura.
You guys are all out geeking the shit out of me. People think,
My husband's been watching the old original Star Trek every night with his buddy, like one episode a night or two. Yeah.
oh shit. That is Battlestar Galactica. That's
No.
Starbucks or Apollo, right?
No. This is an old Worlds of Wonder laser tag helmet.
Ah. You know, that old laser tag stuff goes for a lot nowadays.
Does it? I have a rather
Yeah.
large arsenal of Starlights and Starlight Pros.
Oh, dude.
Oh, yeah,
that's,
here, you gotta see this. There's actually the dilithium chamber
Nice.
opens. And so then you can actually see the dilithium crystal in there.
you,
Okay, this is seriously
What-
going to bother me. Someone
what
in
was
the
it
chat
called
was
again,
asking,
those?
aren't we into Transformers? And now I can't find my box set of the whole series. Oh, there it is. Okay.
I have a
Is that a sonic screwdriver?
yep.
from
Which-
what is that from?
Doctor is that?
Well,
This is 13.
11,
Oh, okay.
11,
12.
11
Sorry.
broke.
Oh,
11's
Transformers.
I have it broke. We played with it too much.
11's broke.
I have but I have the best one. I have 10.
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay, so here is a Nuka
Oh,
Cola
no
bottle.
way. Is that plastic?
And this is Nuka Cola Quantum.
Oh, that's awesome. Where'd
I
you
mean,
get those?
Online.
Okay.
I'm gonna find my
I-
Powerade.
I bought 2 of them, one to drink and one to keep. The one that I drank, it's kind of berry flavored. I don't know.
You know, when you live in the wasteland, you don't get picky. You drink anything. Trying to think if I have anything anybody would actually know much.
And set faces to stunned. We got
Oh.
ourselves an Enterprise D with detachable saucer section.
Oh, no way. That's cool.
Nice.
It's like die-cast metal. Also shell from Portal.
I just realized I can do this. People can see what you guys are showing better. I can make it. So
I
here
mean, I've
is
got bunches of other stuff.
the
Nice.
oh, damn it.
These
See,
are actually
everything
like
in Matrix is
heavy
green, so you
statues.
can
They're
barely
solid
see
metal.
this. So this is a green bottle, trust me, but
That's
the
funny,
Matrix
yeah.
Powerade.
You could hide behind it and become invisible.
It's the Powerade, and there was a Matrix special edition Coke cans, and I had one of those. It looked like a regular Coke can, but instead of red, it was the green and the the characters. And one night I was drunk, and I don't know, I had it sitting on top of the fridge, and I thought it was another beer, and I popped it, and it had been over a decade. And I drank it. I was like, "Oh, what the?" Well, I still have the can though, but the Coke. What is that?
It's a companion cube from Portal.
Oh no! Oh
But
yeah.
it's plushy.
Jen? What do you? That looks so. Oh,
Oh.
don't.
That's a terror
Ghostbusters.
dog from Ghostbusters.
Yeah.
Yep.
And then I have the Gatekeeper. And,
Ah. Nice.
Hey, little guy. Maybe I got a milk bone for you.
yes, have some.
All right. Wedge Antilles.
What's that
Yeah.
from?
Wedge Antilles. He's the land speeder, the snow speeders. Hoth.
Oh,
Nice.
He was Red 2 in the Battle of Yavin and Red Leader in the Battle of Endor.
Nice.
He's like the only rebel pilot besides Luke to survive the trilogy.
Luke was Red 5. I remember that from the video game. Red 5. I'm going in.
Yep.
Right. That's all.
My husband has an original Voltron, like the one you could take apart.
Oh, what size? Is it about
Like-
is it the big one?
Yeah, the
Nice.
big one. His parents are holding it hostage in their basement.
Oh,
So.
oh wow. Okay.
Yeah, he's fine. What is that?
No, it's not wrong that your favorite sci-fi series is the Orville because the Orville kicks booty.
I should give that another try. I think I'll watch the first episode.
It's the best
Seth
Star Trek
MacFarlane is so talented. I
show
should
in-
try it again.
30 years.
Well,
What?
here's the thing about the Orville. It's like if someone took Star Trek and then pulled the stick out of its ass.
What's interesting though is that like it starts out where you're like, oh, it's comedy and it's really awesome and it's so well done and it's amazing. But as it goes, it really gets pretty fucking serious and good with
Well, the thing
humor
is, like-
still, but it tackles some really cool shit the way Star Trek always did,
Well, the thing is, I mean, he was always into Trek. If
Mhm.
you look, there's like some fan films he made that are,
Yeah.
I mean, they're
clearly.
chintzy, but they're fairly well done.
Yeah.
And he was afraid that nobody would take him seriously because he's like known for Family Guy and all that stuff, right?
Right. you gotta
And
make
so
it
he
funny.
made comedy Trek, but around about halfway through season 1, he gave up and just started making actual Trek, but with his characters.
Yeah.
And honestly, it does get really good. They tackle some interesting issues in interesting ways. I love the whole thing with Dr. Quinn and Isaac.
Mhm.
You know,
I can't remember the name of the alien character that has the baby.
Bortus.
But like that, Bortus is amazing. And
Yeah.
that whole bit was excellent. I methat was great.
Yeah, it's a very thoughtful show. I will admit they made a few too many episodes about the Mocklins, but still, it was a lot of fun.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm looking forward to season 3, which is going to be on Hulu exclusively, which means that they're not constrained by time and they're not constrained by like the FCC rules of what you can do. So they're going to push the envelope, and I'm curious where it'll go.
Definitely, it's a great show.
Yeah.
All right, so Orville and Babylon 5. I'm writing down everything that I need to start or try again.
Where's my,
Okay, Star Chaser: The Legend of Orin.
Oh,
Is it
It is
animated?
the most. It is. It's the most
I'm not-
blatant Star Wars ripoff ever, and I think that's why I like it.
Your Bionic Dance's old stuff is the only, and maybe some Dark Matter 2525. That's the only animated I watch.
Yeah. No, it's like at one point, in Star Wars when Ben is describing Mos Eisley to Luke, where he's like, Mos Eisley's spaceport, the thickest, you'll never find a more wretched hive of scum and villainy. Well, in Star Chaser, they go to a place called Toga Togo, the thickest den of thieves this side of Bordegon. And I mean, like, you can see every Star Wars parallel. And a lot of people say they just ripped it off. And I'm like, yeah, but that's part of its appeal.
but it's also really just. I mean, if it's that blatant, it's really homage. Just a little
Kinda.
cheek homage.
And it's just a fun movie in its own right. I mean, it goes places most animated movies don't go, and no musical numbers. So,
Are you guys
so
into?
Seth MacFarlane can sing. Let me tell you.
Oh yeah, he can. You guys into Japanese animation? I just never. My oldest daughter is really into it, and I just don't understand the. And Brian mentioned Kingdom Hearts, how they just lump every character you ever loved into one, and it just kind of ruins them all.
Yeah.
I just don't get. And why do all the Japanese animation? They all look the same. They got the giant eyes. Oh, that's the alien, right? The yes.
Oh, nice.
Whenever I see that, I think of Spaceballs, and he puts on the little top hat and he goes, "Hello, my baby. Hello, my dog."
I thought of my geek out quote that
Oh yeah.
finally- yeah. So here it is.
Oh, awesome.
Hold on. Let me figure out how to. I almost removed you. Okay.
There we go.
Your life could depend.
why is that familiar?
Yeah, that seems really familiar.
I don't recognize it.
Don't blink. Don't blink. Good.
What, you guys?
Really, Brian? You got it?
Of course.
What is it?
I'm an old school Whovian.
Oh, it's a Doctor Who thing? Okay. I
Doctor Who.
started at Tom Baker, ended at Sylvester McCoy, and that's all I've watched.
You know what? That's how. Well, Tom Baker was my guy, and Sylvester McCoy was excellent. But
I hated him. He's why I stopped watching.
But the new era, I started watching them, and I'm like, holy shit, these are really good. Like, shit. This out of the new ones, the second one, I can't think of his name off the top of my head.
It was who? What? Matt Smith
Yes, thank you. No,
or David Tennant?
what?
David Tennant
We got
or
all
Yes.
Christopher Eccleston?
Tennant.
Hang
Oh,
on.
Honest to God, like he
He was great.
put away
Yes.
and fucking Rose. Oh,
Yeah.
god damn! Like, talk about making you cry all the time.
Wait a minute.
Jesus,
I got Eccleston here.
he was excellent. He was
And,
great.
Oh, and I got this guy, and
Oh, yeah.
this guy. And then I got Tennant. And then I got Smith with his Cyberman head
Oh, nice.
and Grumpy.
Yeah, you know what's funny? That's the doctor I relate with the most by far.
Yeah.
Absolutely. When they first started airing those, my now ex-wife, I actually got her to watch it with me, and she's like, "Oh my god, it's you!" She's like, "That's fucking you!" Oh Jesus, get out of here, Rose.
Is that so? The new
Gonna
one is
make me
female, right?
cry.
Yes.
The new Doctor Who is a female, so that those are already airing.
Yeah, the newest one.
Got Jody.
Here's Jodie Whittaker.
Oh, nice. Oh,
I think that's cool as hell. Because the premise of it is ingenious. The fact that you can,
you can
you
have
know,
anyone at any time.
yes, and it's like James Bond, but there's a premise for it why they look different, so it makes
Yes,
way more
me-
sense.
Back on this.
River.
Nice. She was excellent.
Great. She's great. Melody Pond
There's a great. The new ones are. I mean, when I say new, it's like anything.
Well, yeah.
You know,
Okay, and
post-
then
Right. He
Yeah.
was the fucking best. He really was. You
it's
know.
a shame
I
he's
mean,
going through what he's going through right now.
what is it? I don't know. I'm
A
out of touch.
bunch of people from Torchwood and the season he was on with Tennant are accusing him of SA.
Of what?
Sexual assault.
Oh,
Well, it's the world we live in now. You know.
in the Marine
Fucking
Corps, you
blink
watch
wrong,
out for your
you're-
fellow Marines, and they can SI, SG, or SA. SA means suicide attempt, suicide gesture, and suicide ideation. So that's what I was thinking. Sexual assault.
Yeah, there you go. I told you I have all my Doctor Who stuff over there.
Full disclosure: I've never seen one Doctor Who episode ever. I
Oh
know.
my god!
I know.
All right,
do
add
I-
it to your list.
I have this one.
Do-
And then you
I
got to
need
watch
to?
them all in order.
So when did it first come out? The 70s?
No,
Oh, much earlier.
Much
early
earlier?
60s.
Oh God.
Longest running television series ever.
Oh.
Really, even
fucking-
including soaps.
Mm-hmm.
Is there somewhere I can just pick up?
Oh, awesome.
Can I pick up
That's
in
great.
like the 90s, or is there a
Yes,
place to
you can
just
pick
start
up
watching?
the Eccleston. If you want to pick up for modern times, you can pick up the Eccleston.
Mm-hmm. He
which
was great.
Yeah.
Doctor
This
Who.
is-
Start with Eccleston.
Do you
I
know
have to admit, the new Doctor Who doesn't hold a lot of appeal for me, just because I liked the low budget, cheap ass sets and effects. There was something kind of, I don't know, like I liked it. It seemed to fit the series, and if they made it like too high budget, I guess it just, I don't know, it doesn't sit right with me somehow.
this
It's
is
good.
Doctor Who?
It's good if you're trying to get a non-nerd to watch it with you. That's for sure. Because then they go, "Oh, this is cool." I'm like, mm-hmm.
Two things. Low budget. I agree with Kate, and two counts. First one is a low budget. Oh, Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, the original BBC.
Mhm.
I think now, don't get me wrong. The actual movie was badass.
The movie
I
was
loved
good,
it. I
but
watched it over. But that BBC
original
series
series.
is just awesome. And the other one is Mighty Boosh. If you guys watch the Mighty Boosh, I think it's on Hulu right now. If you want to go and catch up, watch Mighty Boosh is just goddamn hilarious. It's
And
totally
Gary
my type
Newman's
of
on it.
comedy. But there's an old BBC radio show. It's all just radio, Mighty
Oh, and
Boosh,
Ood.
and that's even better.
Been
The
oohed.
older.
We also have
Well, I don't know. I mean, I
Oh,
wanted to like the new Hitchhiker's Guide movie, but just I don't know what it was. I hated it.
you know when I heard that they were going to have a rapper as Ford Prefect, I was like, what are they going to? What are they
Yeah.
going to do to the?
Although,
But Most Def
um,
he was awesome. I loved it.
I thought he was all right. The one I really couldn't stand was Zaphod, though.
Yeah.
Oh, that guy is a
Yeah.
blowhard.
Well, he came off like
Sam
Bill
Rockwell.
and or Ted is the problem.
yeah,
Mhm.
a little too loopy, and well, I mean, Zaphod in the book is really narcissistic. He pulled that off.
Yeah.
Yeah, I get you. though.
Oh my! Oh wow! Oh envious! Oh wow! That is too cool.
Dude, I think that's the coolest thing I've seen today.
I may have to hire a cat burglar.
Oh
Tell them
man,
to have fun when they get here. That's what sometimes people look around, they're like, "Oh my god, you have all this priceless shit. Aren't you worried about being robbed?" And I'm like, "Yeah, go ahead and send them."
yeah. Little known fact, guys. Brian is also my ninjutsu instructor. I got my first black belt of 4 black belts through him. He's forgotten way more than I will ever know about how to end someone's life and make them room temperature. So they can try.
I would rather make them hotter than the sun. Orbital strike satellites, you know.
Oh, I would just tie them in a chair and play pranks on them for hours, weeks in the basement. Oh,
Oh, Brian, you want? Oh, and then he disappears again when I was going to show him. Okay.
I mean, I've got other stuff I could take off the shelf, but nothing nearly as impressive as what I've already shown.
okay, so Obviously, we see what the popular topic is generally, but these are probably the easiest ones for you to find. These are reproductions of the original ones from '82,
Mhm.
and these you can still find on eBay, E-Rate,
Nice.
and they open up, and the guys can go inside,
Nice.
and they're hefty. And then there's these. I'll show it by side for comparison. But so here's the original '82 light cycle style, and then this is.
Oh
I'll
yeah.
do them one on top of the other so you can really see kind of the size differences. But
Ah, yes, I see.
and these are far more accurate, really accurate, but each one would cost you like. Honestly, you can't even find these anymore. It'd be hundreds of dollars now. I am so glad. I was toy hunting in LA, and I went into a place that had all 4 sets. It comes with a
Nice.
cycle and a really fucking rare Japanese figures that are super posable. Like they're insanely, but they're as posable as Micronauts. But I walked away, and I got like maybe 2 blocks down the road, and I was like, "What the fuck are you doing?" Like I spun the car around and went right back and bought all 4. And thank God, because it turned out that like 2 of the sets, this guy was just going to buy 2 of them, not all 4, because they were expensive even then, and that's when they first came out. And luckily, he had put it down and kind of walked out, and I was like, "Oh, think about it." So I walked in; they still had all 4, and I bought them on the spot. So I have a couple people around the world actually that are bugging me. They're like, "Okay, like if you die, will you will those to me?" You know, and they're always trying to trade me like 18 like insane collectibles for just like one of them, and I'm like, yeah, no. But these ones are great. They're actually a lot more durable, and they have a great feature where you can put a little stick in them, and then you go, and then they actually like race across the floor.
Nice.
But those you could probably still find on eBay actually,
Okay. I'll have to go look at them.
and they're really heavy. Like these are like paperweight. I mean, they're just like it's like they may as well be made out of paper. But these are hefty. So,
So, how was that Richard fella's name pronounced? Iode?
Iowati? Iowati,
Okay.
I think. He was
I've really
in.
only seen him in the IT crowd.
Yes, the IT crowd. That's where everyone knows him from. But he was in Mighty Boosh, and gosh, Jim, IT crowd. See, it's all Hot Fuzz and the ones that Jason Ellis just posted. All those movies. It's like that same 10 or 12 people. They're in every movie because Vince Noir from Mighty Boosh, played by, I forget his name, he's in IT crowd as well. He's that weird goth guy that's in the closet that you only see every once in a while.
Richmond.
Yes. So he's one of the main characters in Mighty Boosh. He's Vince Noir. He's this glam rock guy, and but he's a zookeeper. It's fucking funny. You guys put that on your list, Mighty Boosh. If you haven't, it's on Hulu, and you can watch it on YouTube too. But you got to lower the speed a little bit because they, copyright issues.
Right. Yeah, but you're right. I mean, like the what do they call it? The Cornetto trilogy with Simon Pegg and Nick Frost, and that's got most of the same people in it too.
Yes, and a lot of them bleed over into the Lord of the Rings trilogy too. A bunch of those guys. Martin, come on, Martin.
Short.
No.
Scorsese.
No. Lawrence.
Huh?
Martin Lawrence.
No.
Gene.
I know.
Martin.
He's in one. He's in that crew too. He played one of those hobbits or whatever.
Dean Martin.
I'm surprised
I
no one's
heard
talked
that,
about Lord of the Rings yet. Oh yeah,
like
we
Bill
did. Someone's got a
Bailey.
ring. Kate had a ring.
Oh yeah, that was me. Yeah, Bill Bailey apparently tried out for a part in Lord of the Rings and didn't get it.
Oh no.
Wait,
shit.
are you talking about Watson?
Martin Freeman?
Yes.
Oh, dude, don't even get me started on Sherlock Holmes shit. That's my jam. I love all of them. Even the one who's that tatted up skinny guy that used to be married to Angelina Jolie. That was an awesome Sherlock Holmes.
Johnny,
that guy.
yeah,
So
okay. From
Martin
Hackers, the guy who was in Hackers.
Oh, that's an awesome movie. That
Yeah,
movie
that was a
rocks.
good one, wasn't it? No, yeah, Martin Freeman was in. What'd you say, Jen?
He
in
was
what?
Watson.
He was Watson. But
Yeah.
in that iteration of Sherlock Holmes, it was modern day, and they made that Watson an Iraq War veteran with PTSD. He was a surgeon in the army or something,
Mhm.
which is freaking brilliant. Yes.
He was also in a bunch of the Avengers movies.
Oh no shit.
Mm-hmm.
You're an Avenger.
That's
You're the
why I
Avengers
know
freak
Martin
here.
Freeman.
What do you think about like Hawkeye and Black Widow? I mean, do they even serve a purpose? Why do they even?
Yes.
Hawkeye's awesome, man. He always makes the mark. He can shoot. He can be like, I got it.
Well, he's the sniper, and he's the glue that keeps the team together because he's like the one normal
Yeah.
person.
I guess so.
Yeah. He did. He is the one normal person with a family.
But
he's
Have
the
you
only
seen
one-
Black?
loses
Have you
it.
seen the Black Widow
He
movie?
goes to Japan.
Nope. Is it good?
Oh wait, where's my? Oh, here he is. Here, I painted him. I painted him when he went to Japan. Hold on.
Ronan.
Where is he?
There he is.
Hold that.
Jason, it's not. Oh yeah.
Oh, nice.
Oh, hold on.
Yeah.
Let
And
me
then
take that
there's
off.
Widow.
There, this way.
Okay.
Hmm.
Yeah.
There's somebody. I think it's Patton Oswalt makes fun of Hawkeye. He's like, oh, it's Jesus comes back. Jesus comes back and wants to join the X-Men, and they're like, so what's your
yes.
superpower? Remember that? What's your superpowers? Oh, I can make everyone a nice lunch. You know that time when we tried to take down Ultron and we needed 5,000 sandwiches? No, I don't either. Oh yeah, well, thank you. Maybe you could try the Avengers. They'll take anyone. They got a guy there with a bow and arrow. You could probably just walk into Dick's Sporting Goods and be a
I don't
superhero.
know, for some reason, the one that amuses me, they're like, "Are you married to the beard?"
Well, Patton Oswalt was in what's that show called? Oh my gosh.
Goldbergs.
No, not the. He's the narrator for the Goldbergs, but he
What,
was
Modoc,
he was in the
But
Blade.
yes.
That's not the one you're thinking of, though, is it?
He was in the oh my gosh, that show, the Agents of Shield.
Oh,
That was.
I
He was
did see
Agents
that
of
one.
I
Shield.
watched that. I just couldn't get fully into it, which sucked because I like a lot of those characters, but I just
Yes.
didn't hold me.
He's one of the
Well,
real high uppy-ups in that show.
well, Agents of Shield.
I felt similarly about Modoc. I've tried watching it and I just can't get into it. I think, honestly, if they hadn't tried to do that stop motion style, I'd like it more, but I find it difficult to watch. Just because stop motion characters, they look so emotionally dead. You know, like their eyebrows aren't doing anything and they just seem, I don't know, it doesn't work for me.
I don't
Stop
know.
motion always freaks me out. Like I can't watch all those Christmas movies, Like-
Mm.
like
Tim Burton
Rudolph
stuff.
and
Oh, the
they-
old
they-
ones.
yeah, like the old school, like from the 50s and 60s. I can't watch them. They freak me the hell out.
The one I remember before Christmas.
Man,
It's never bothered
Brian's about
anybody.
to start
the
talking
only
about the old
reason-
Clash of the Titans. I bet you anything.
Nope. Tron.
Oh, okay. Tron.
Tron
Well-
again. Now
well-
here's a weird collectible that you may or not even know existed.
Oh, wow.
Oh, that is the.
MCP. Now
you
you remember
shoot
what
it.
happens when Tron gets his disc in there, and
Sure.
he shrivels up and turns into a little guy.
Oh, wow. Okay.
He's all he's all sad.
Huh.
That's the very end of
I
the
had
movie.
no idea that existed. Hmm.
That is badass. Oh, I just found here's Neo. I don't know if you can see it. Neo, the scene when he gets his mouth sealed shut by the agents, and then
Oh,
they in the
yeah.
car, and then they pull the little squiddly out of his stomach.
yeah.
That's cool. They even got his time molded where it's like,
Kept his beard.
Yeah, no shit.
yeah, you kids and your accurate sculpts.
Who is the guy that everyone tries to be like? The ones that is it another McFarlane? Not Seth MacFarlane. There's another McFarlane that does
Oh,
sculpt.
Todd.
God.
Todd
Todd.
McFarlane, right?
Yeah.
So what all does
basically
he make?
changed
Does he make
action figures
everything?
overnight, man?
Or are there other people? Is he?
Which
Does
I'm
he
not
have a
so-
monopoly on the genre, on the art form? Are there others?
Oh, there's many others now. I mean, he changed the game where it's like, okay, let's go for hyper realism and super accuracy, where it's basically like a semi-posable statue, which was amazing and cool. But I'm an old fucker, and sometimes I really prefer things to just really engage
toys.
your imagination more. You know, it's like, oh, that represents that. You know, they have more charm. Let me give you a great example.
For a long time, I wasn't into the old G.I. Joe figures until someone told me you could take the screw out and pop them open and rearrange the parts to make your own characters. And when I found that one out, all of a sudden I was into it.
Oh, shit. Do you have the original G.I. Joes?
Well, not anymore.
Oh,
But I used to. I used to.
yeah.
Okay,
You remember that movie 40-Year-Old Virgin where he's showing that girl like all his collection and he's talking about
he actually has some cool shit.
yeah, and he's talking about the $6 million man. She's like, yeah, you don't here's his boss. The boss is what I've seen about off characters. The boss and the $6 million man, everyone and their uncle has that, but that dude that gave him his missions, that's the guy that's valuable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because at the time, nobody wanted Oscar Goldman.
Oh, you remember his name, Jesus.
All right, here's a good example of how figures have changed over the years. So one of my favorite properties, of course, is
Oh,
Jurassic
shit.
Park. No kidding.
So super accurate sculpt, superposability, blah, blah, blah. And I love it. It's great. But
Oh, man.
now that's a fucking Godzilla figure. So, and not to mention, I could probably pay off my car with this guy.
Oh, that one's
Wow.
worth more. I like the
Yeah,
first one better.
these are super valuable though. They're going on eBay for like $150 or $200.
What is that other one worth?
I could pay off my car.
Oh, Jesus.
But they're so charming. I mean, look at his tail. Look at that little tail. Like, sure, that's what it looks like in the movie, but that's cute. And look at his little feeties. Look at
Those
little
Micronauts
feet.
you have, I basically had the same collection, minus a few, right? You've got a lot of rares that I didn't have. But if my mom had not sold those in the garage sale, I think I could have put one of my kids through college with all of it.
Yeah, they're pricey now. They are definitely pricey. It's pretty sad because, you know, what's sad? Okay, here's what's sad. As a collector, I think we can all kind of appreciate this. So, like, you look over here, and that's, okay, this is only one half, because I'm using my fucking computer now. So it doesn't move. But there's obviously several figures on this shelf. So you can have like hundreds and hundreds of figures all on all these different shelves, vehicles, and all this crap. And there's, you can't see it, but over on the other side of the room, there's even way more. And so then you're like, oh, I'm missing that one thing. And so you're like, fuck, okay. Like, okay, I'll give an example. You drop like, you know, $150, $200 on like this little guy.
Oh, Brian, now you're
and then
really
you get
getting-
him and you're like, okay, that was a lot of money, but he's so badass. That's so cool. And you get him home and you're like, oh, he's so neat. He's so neat. And then you're like, bloop.
Yeah.
Where the fuck is he now? Where the fuck are you now, Antron? You know, it's like, but we do it. We do it.
Explain
I got
to
a
the
fever. And the only cure is more Micronauts.
you got to explain to the ladies what that guy is and the collection, the glow in the dark brains, the Membros and Antron and Kronos
Yeah, they
and
all
all
had
them.
glow in the dark brains, and you know they're like
Those were separate Micronauts. They were like evil guys, and
The
they had glow in
aliens.
the, back then in the 70s, glow in the dark brains. Oh my God! Everyone ran out and got them, and there's maybe 5 of them, and they were just the coolest.
Yeah.
That was the Cabbage Patch Dolls of one year for Christmas. I mean, everyone was
well
getting them.
for you and me.
Well, I guess it wasn't as ubiquitous as Cabbage Patch. Yeah.
Yeah.
Muted, Kate.
Oh,
If you want to talk about the Cabbage Patch Kids of a Christmas, I mean, I've let them fall into a little bit of disrepair, but it's an old talking Buzz Lightyear.
yeah. Oh, that was a big deal for a while, man.
Yeah, well, I was working Toys R Us when
Oh.
not only this, but Tickle Me Elmo as well.
Oh,
Oh, boy.
shit, yeah.
You know, and man, it was hellish to be on a register, but being out on the floor helping moms figure out what toy their kid wanted that they can't remember and didn't write down, that was fun.
I worked at Toys R Us before. I know.
Really?
I worked,
Now,
at a KB Toys, actually.
Wow.
Yeah. And it was
You
hellish.
guys-
It was right during
you all
Christmas.
worked at toy stores. That is
Yep.
kind
Yeah.
of weird.
I
That
know.
is weird.
That's why I had to mention it, because I was like, wait a minute.
I've
Like-
also worked for video stores.
I didn't do that.
I work at
Damn
Media
it.
Play.
Well, it was funny. The last video store job I ever had was crazy because, like 2 weeks, and I'm the assistant manager because everyone else there is a complete slacker, you know. And I'm a complete slacker, but not as much as they were. So they put me in charge. And like a couple of weeks after I left the job, the manager was busted for dealing drugs out of the back room.
Well, so?
Oh, so I'm glad I wasn't still working there and potentially liable.
Right? No shit.
Because I mean, I didn't know that was happening, but how would I convince anyone of that?
Right. Yeah.
When there's a
So-
big craze on the market for something like Tickle Me Elmo, when you were working there, did you grab 2 or 3, put them in the back room, and then kind of like scalp them? Like, hey, you buy them you through my toy store for the regular price, but I got them. So if you want to kick me back a little extra on the side for
Yeah,
holding
once
it
they're all
for you,
gone.
for friends.
Yeah, like pre-eBaying, basically, you know?
Yes, that
I did not. I set this aside for me, but I intended to keep it. So,
That's because we have standards.
eh,
Unlike the scalpers on eBay that are cunts, if I might.
Mm.
The
put a
Elmo
little
came
sharp of a
out
point on it.
the
the year before I had my first baby. Tickle Me Elmo came out. So then it was still popular, you know, but she never got a Tickle Me Elmo because I wasn't about to shill $500 for a goddamn stuffed animal. And so she got ABC Elmo, and you know what? She didn't care.
Right.
She was one.
Yeah, this is a topic. Speaking of like this whole geek thing and showing collectibles and toys, this is something I got to rant about because I'm old and I'm grouchy as fuck now. But what pisses me off and always has is the concept of manufactured collectability. The
Mhm.
primo example is Beanie Babies. You know, it's like, ooh, it's worth this, and it hasn't even gotten off the fucking truck. So basically, it's worth that much because you said so. And does it tie into any real deep nostalgia for people? Does it really hit that chord that says this brings me closer to a topic or a property or some film history or something that's very fucking vital and important, and this is a way of representing that? No, it has nothing to do with any of the right reasons for collecting. It's a monkey fucking a football. That's all it
It's
is.
collecting for collecting's sake.
Yeah.
Mm.
and I
And those
noticed
people
all 4
should
of
just
us.
get kicked right square in the nuts by a monkey fucking a football.
All 4 of us, there's
Speaking of which,
nothing in
I'm
your
gonna take a
rooms right now
bathroom
that
break.
you're
I'll be right
not
back.
just a huge fan of yourself. You're not collecting shit just to be collecting it. It's stuff
Right.
that you had an attachment to as a child or now. You know, there's nothing
I-
here
Or
that you
research time
Yeah.
go for. Yeah.
right.
I mean, there's 1 or 2 exceptions, but they're usually things that were given to me by misguided people who didn't realize what I was into.
Mhm.
right.
Oh, like when I was little, I wanted a freaking Transformer. What did my parents buy me?
GoBots.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Well, it's just the same thing, isn't it?
Heresy.
Ugh, I swear, parents forget what it's like to be a kid.
And
You
I
guys-
asked for Cabbage Patch Kids. What did I get? Flower Patch
Um,
Kids.
Sour
Oh,
Patch.
now, I
Sour
did
Patch
have.
Kids.
I did have a Cabbage Patch Kid, but it was one of the Cabbage Patch Kid preemies where it was still a baby and not a toddler.
Yep.
I miss that thing. I really do. I wish I knew what happened to it.
And remember one year it was the Princess Barbie. It was year 2000. It was the Princess Barbie year 2000 edition. Everyone wanted. You guys remember that?
Hmm.
And I
just
still have
reminds
one
me
in the
of The
box up in the
Office.
closet.
That
Was it?
reminds me of The Office when Dwight was hawking the "My horn can pierce the sky" Barbies.
Hmm.
Do you remember that?
No.
Oh my god!
Well, someone let me know when they come out with Battle Mech Suit Barbie.
awesome. That would be right up your
The
alley.
thing would be
You
Captain
know,
Barbie.
Barbie meets Iron Man. That's
In
what I
this
want.
day and age,
There's
give it
light.
within the next 5 years. It's like I
No,
swear,
for
you make up
Kate,
some
it-
shit in your head and it comes out. It's like
A bionic
that's
dance
available
Barbie,
now.
and it would look kind of like a cross between a Barbie and a Laura Croft from Tomb Raider, and like that one strip of hair in front of her face. That's how I see your Barbie character.
There was a time when I did that. It's true, with the hair.
It's a good thing. I like the one bit of
Oh,
hair
that-
in your face.
I-
Although doing it sucks because then it's all in your fucking nose and in your eye, and you know.
Yeah, sorry. The sound. I live not too terribly far from like police stations and fire stations and that. So
Is that what
you
that
know,
was?
every now and then you'll hear something, but it's not me on fire. I promise.
Is KB Toy or I know that what's the one with the giraffe, Jeffrey the giraffe?
That was Toys R Us.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that was Toys
that's
R
out of
Us.
business now, right? Are there any toy
Oh,
stores
well,
still
no,
in
they're
business?
coming back. They're coming
Yeah.
back. There's a big
And
thing
they're
about
still
Toys R Us
in
coming
Canada.
back.
They're still
No
in
shit.
Canada.
Yeah.
You know, fun fact.
Well, okay,
there's a-
if you want to
there
talk
was a-
about well, what Ralph there is saying, hyper realistic squirt guns. This is not a real gun. This is plastic. This is an old Daisy Pursuit gun. You can see where the batteries went, right? And it was basically their answer to laser tag, but it looks real enough. You know, if you were to put this on camera, and you know, people would probably believe it.
Yep,
Yeah,
thanks
'cause
for
it doesn't even have a big
demonetized my
orange
show,
plastic
Kate.
thing.
No, I'm just joking.
What was that?
Oh,
'Cause it doesn't
I
even have a
said
big
you
plastic
just demonetized my
oh.
show, but Brian did that with all the F-bombs, so we're okay anyway.
Mm.
Do you know
Fucking
when you guys, you're YouTubers, you know, like when you upload a video, it asks you that series of questions. Do you show firearms in your video? Oh, in that case, you don't get any money. I don't
Check.
care.
Is there cussing? Check.
Right.
Hey, it's been 4 years. I never showed
Nudity. We're
There
missing
is
nudity.
actually
Okay, here we
one
go.
thing about there's one thing about my animation that worries me a little, because there is a scene in a bar where they may not have pole dancers, but there is a big water tank that the Venusians swim around in. And yeah, they're kind of on the naked side, but they've also got the whole like full Barbie doll, no nipples and plastic underpants, you know? So, but it says in those questions, you know, like, do you show buttocks or breasts for the purposes of sexual gratification, where the purposes of sexual gratification are not defined? So I'm a little worried that I might
not a
put
squirt gun.
that
That's weird
into
because
my.
that squirt gun is so accurate. It's weird.
Yeah, you look
Yeah,
at
you're
the
right.
realistic
Though.
detail. And
back
it,
to-
like it really looks like it
Where am
will
I
blow your brain.
pointing?
It could blow your brains out. Oh,
Back to
that's
her.
right. It can.
Is you're right. You know, it's like any
Sports
little
metal.
thing that you might want to
Mhm.
show that's like, oh, I bet the viewers have never seen that before. You know?
Yeah, the rules, like the community standards on every site, have gotten so puritanical. It's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I'm worried
But, you
even
know,
that
that's
those
good because
stills
we don't
from
wanna
like
soil our
an Indiana
Christian
Jones
morals.
movie, because I'm afraid that, you know, you'll see Indiana Jones punching a Nazi and they'll go, oh, I see a swastika. Bye bye.
Right.
You know?
Right. Without the context of it. Completely. Like the point was, dumbass, you know?
And there are things you can say on like primetime television that you can't say on Facebook.
Right. So
Yeah.
did I screw you up, Jim?
What, dropping F-bombs? No,
I didn't
you
even
just
realize I was.
no, you broke the seal, Brian. It's totally cool because really the algorithm only digs like the first 3 to 5 minutes of a show. So as long as no F-bombs are dropped, so there's still a slight chance this
Oh.
could get fully monetized. Anyway, I don't even care.
Right.
We don't make, including
I was
t-shirt sales
pronouncing-
and Patreon. I'm lucky if I make 300 a month.
I was
So
saying-
it's not-
Wait,
it's
whoa,
not
whoa,
worth
whoa,
it.
whoa, 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 whoa. Hold on. Rewind. How the hell are you making 300 a month?
It's mostly t-shirt sales. Patreon's
Oh,
about
okay.
40
What-
bucks a month.
Well, what do
YouTube's
you
about 40 bucks a month. And then t-shirt
Really?
sales
Okay.
is the rest. I mean, on a good
Because-
month around the holidays, if you don't have a Teespring and get you some nice sweatshirts, some hoodies, put a Buying a Dance logo on there, dude, you will sell some
Okay.
you'll sell some merch.
Here's the thing about that. When selling merch through your channel was new, I started a Zazzle store. and the entire atheist community gave me a gigantic mountain of shit for it. And I mean, like, seriously, for a year or two, people were just like making fun of me for trying to sell merch. And now everyone's doing
And
it. Are
now
there
look
any
what they're
mea
doing.
culpas? No, there fucking aren't. So it's one of the reasons I left the atheist community. I
You
gotta
were
say.
a trendsetter in so many different. You guys, Brian and Jen. Jen, you're new to the YouTube scene. Do you know who we're talking to right now? Do you realize? I don't want to. I don't want to like just make her head any bigger than what it is. But holy shit! I mean, she is up there. She was the non-stem collector and the dark matter and the Thunderfoot and the potholer and all the. Remember back then, the early days of YouTube atheism. She was right there. She's been on Tosh.0.
Mm-hmm.
Said,
Yeah, and
so
I
they
mean,
called you a sellout, huh? Because you were probably the first one to
I don't
do
think
it.
I remember them not even calling me that. I think they just called me a big old dork.
Perfect.
But whatever.
That's a
I mean,
compliment in our world.
that's over now. I'm done with it. But I'm still a little shell shocked from the experience. So I haven't been making a merch store. It's just, I don't know. It has a psychic stink, if that makes sense.
It does.
Just-
Speaking of stinks and merch, here's something rare and collectible. The very first printed copy of Protectors of Inner Space Complete Covers Volume 3. Holy shit. And it's signed. Oh my God. How did I
It's
get
signed.
that?
Not
Okay.
familiar with it. What is it?
Let me explain. If
I'm a
Brian
dick.
explains it,
I'm a
it won't
dick.
be fun anymore.
That's me.
Okay. Tell me if any of this is wrong. Micronauts were the big thing. They were as big as Star Wars action figures in the 70s, all right? And so
That's
people loved them. So we were big fans of them. Well, Brian is also he's an artist. He go to Vox Art 9. It's in the description section. You can check out his artwork. So it's mostly erotica, but he does a whole side gig project where he's basically recreating the old Micronauts comic books, and he's reimagining them in Brian Vox way, and they are so much better than the originals. And so it's a whole series now. This is all his artwork. So if whoever owns Micronauts now were to ever realize what they're sitting on and sign him on, yes.
Oh, wait a minute.
Yeah.
I just did an image search for Micronauts. Rom the Space Knight was from Micronauts?
No, but they, as is typical nowadays, they do crossovers. But Rom was a toy. Rom was a toy originally, and the toy was badass. It was one of the
Okay.
very first electronic toys, and I am so sick that I don't still have mine. But yeah, they do a lot of crossover. And if you look at the Micronauts related to Rom, it's not going to have anything to do with these toys. They've completely screwed the pooch over the years. But here's my beautiful artwork. It's lovely.
I was gonna say, because I read some of the ROM comics, and
they were kind of cool.
but I mean, it was hard to get them because I could only find back issues,
Mhm.
right? So I was reading the story completely out of order because I was buying what I could find, and after a while, I lost interest. But maybe they have like a collection, a digest, an anthology somewhere. I don't know.
Okay, here's a question for you guys because he took off for a second. But favorite comic book title series of all time?
ElfQuest.
Go ahead.
What is it?
ElfQuest.
Oh yeah. Oh, nice. Was that early 90s?
It came out in the mid to late 70s.
Oh, okay. So it continued. I'm picturing something that I used to see. Maybe I was seeing back issues. Okay, what about you, Jen? Favorite comic book all time?
I don't really read comics, but Gavin does.
I do.
Okay, what do you got?
Well, not Marvel and not DC related. I would have to say Y the Last Man.
Nice. Okay, Jim, you came back. Favorite comic
Why the
book
Last Man? I
series
have the
of all
complete
time?
graphic novels.
I just took over. Favorite comic book series of all time?
Oh, Walking Dead. It's if you read the Walking Dead graphic novels before you watch the show, and it makes it so much better in two ways. One, where they diverge, and you're like, it catches you even more off guard. and 2, you can be that smug motherfucker in the room that goes, I knew that was going to happen.
Yeah, my
Like
daughter
with the graphic
gives
novels.
apologies.
Yes,
Right.
I am totally that guy, by the way.
Well, keep hosting, Brian. I'll be right here.
Here's something fun. My whole place, people call this place the museum because the entire place is just full of shit, like me. But here's something kind of fun. The very first story and appearance of
Star-Lord.
Oh,
Awesome.
huh.
yeah, look.
You know,
it
it's
doesn't
funny
look-
when I went to see Guardians of the Galaxy, I didn't know it was an MCU movie. I just
it
thought it
doesn't
was a
look
really
anything.
cool looking space opera, right?
Yes.
So when I started watching it, I thought that was pretty good, but I didn't really understand who the hell were those bad guys. It's like I was supposed to know them already.
Right? Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah, this I got actually when I was a kid. And I loved it. I mean, this is the Star-Lord I loved. And so when Guardians of the Galaxy came out, this will show you how out of touch I am. I didn't even relate it to Star-Lord because I hadn't kept up with it. And by the way, I noticed your painting and I think it's awesome.
Yeah, Star-Lord.
Oh, and I see one coming that I got a little story behind also.
Ego's behind him. Can you see that? Half of Ego's head.
Oh, it's awesome.
Yeah. His eye
But,
glows
like,
in the dark.
That was the Star-Lord I fell in love with. And then Guardians of the Galaxy comics came out, and they're good. They're good, don't get me wrong. But I didn't keep up with it, so I didn't even recognize it. And when Guardians of the Galaxy hit theaters, I was like, this seems familiar. And then when the story started, I was like, oh, Star-Lord, duh. You know, but he doesn't look the same. Okay, go back to Rocket.
Rocket.
So here's a fun thing, and Jim will appreciate this too, because in the 70s, Marvel Comics did a Micronauts. So this will come full circle.
Uh-oh.
So Marvel did a Micronauts comic book, and it was all written by Bill Mantlo.
Oh.
Way ahead of his time. Those comics were fucking epic and very adult.
Marvel did
But
everything.
he was the creator of Rocket Raccoon. And we're friends. I'm
Oh, no
friends with him now.
shit.
But he's
Oh.
bedridden. He got in a motorcycle accident ages ago, and he's basically a vegetable now. It's really sad. But yeah, he since he did Micronauts, I did a tribute cover using my characters, but in the same poses as his first issue of that comic, and all proceeds of that poster went to try to help his family.
Cool.
Oh, that was awesome.
so
And then his brother, who was taking care of him, he's gone. So it's his daughter
so
who's taking care of him.
this series right here, Judd Winnick, friend of mine, introduced me to him. And he also did this is a little more family friendly and for kids, but he did a series called The Adventures of Barry Ween, Boy Genius, that is just pure raunch. It's a lot of fun. Yeah, I highly recommend his work, Judd Winnick. He was also
Nice.
on The Real World, apparently.
I like that. Who did the art in that?
Him.
Oh, he does it all? Does he write it and draw it?
Uh-huh.
Like
I
Judd
mean,
Winnick.
maybe someone else does the lettering, but I know he does pretty much everything.
Well, you got to have help. That's why everybody's up my ass about making a comic about Protectors of Inner Space. And I'm like, no, not.
Actually, the only people credited here are him and I guess the color artist.
Okay, now I feel like a wimp
My comic.
because that's amazing.
That's
That's
a lot of
cool.
work.
Yes, it's an
Well,
amazing
he does
amount of
quality
work.
work. He really does.
Here's Spider.
Ooh, oh, nice. That's cool. What issue is that?
Fourth printing variant 583.
And then I got
Oh, variants. Love those. But that's
Yeah.
cool. That's a great cover.
Butt Essence.
You guys, we got 10 minutes left. Oh, Dr. Yeah. We're
10
gonna
minutes left?
wrap
Do
up
we
with
have a
some final
limit?
thoughts. I want to throw this out there.
That one.
I've always wondered why I was drawn to the Matrix and to vampire stuff. Why I have two vampires. I don't know if you can
what?
see my vampire tattoos. Is it on this side? I got vampire marks somewhere on my neck. I'll show them later. And, and I always wondered, and I think it comes down to, and why I have an atheist YouTube channel, why I don't believe in God, why I'm very skeptical. I think it all ties together because I'm
That's not-
infatuated with two things. One,
Different.
the idea of living forever, and two, people who think they can, i.e.,
That's
religious people that
Well,
think they've
I'm
got
going
the
to live
answer.
forever or die trying.
Right. So I think living forever is just so tempting. You know, like Sean Connery, there can be only one. The
Highlander.
Highlander.
Oh.
Oh yeah.
All right.
So I'm wondering. So I've got the first three original episodes of the first three original 1, 2, and 3 of Vlad Dracula,
Nice.
and all the Anne Rice series and the graphic novels. Living forever, and with the Matrix, it's a very biblical theme. I mean, if you're watching the Matrix and you don't see the biblical theme, it slaps you in the face. I mean, it ends with Neo basically in a crucifix. Every scene I can show you in the Bible, their spaceship Nebuchadnezzar. So I think all my geekitude points at the idea of immortality and the desire for it, and the just dumbfoundedness that people think they have the answers and they think you can. And that's why I have this channel too. So is there, in line with that, is there a reason why you picked a certain scope of your nerdiness, like Jen with the Marvel? Is there, like some, I can see some people, like if you're confined to a wheelchair, I could see you being into superheroes because it's some, you know what I'm saying? Like that's.
Well, if I
I'm not
don't get
making-
surgery soon, I'll probably be in a wheelchair. Let me just say
Is that kind of, does that lend to maybe why you're into the superhero
Yeah.
genre?
Probably doing things that I can't.
Yeah, that's what I'm going after.
Yeah.
You guys too?
relatable.
Yeah. I think it's power and
Relatability.
yeah, being able to do things that I can't.
Ah, jeepers. Never mind.
My favorite is Thor because I'm like 30% Norse. So
Oh, yeah,
Um,
yeah. If you have a national like a genealogical connection to maybe something that you
Yeah.
collect, that's another.
Tales of
Yeah.
Ask.
Well, I think for myself, it's just that I was born at the right time. I mean, Star Wars came out in 77. I came out in 75. So, and after that, growing up on a steady diet of Lucas and Spielberg and all of their imitators, I mean, and I don't know how many people were around for the 80s who were a kid in the 80s, but that was our bag. That was our jam. That was our thing. Is like, every day after school, you watch G.I. Joe, Transformers, Ninja Turtles, Smurfs, Snorks, Muppet Babies, whatever, Bionic 6 in my case, and
Yes.
it was just part of my world naturally. And also a lot of what those characters were doing looked like a lot of fun. And I wish I could do it too. I think that's really just it. And hi, Manda. Saw you before. Didn't really get a chance to. Hi.
Yeah, I was a child of the Satanic Panic, so I wasn't allowed to play Dungeons and Dragons.
Mm.
And I wasn't I was surprised that my parents let me have Smurf wallpaper in my bedroom because they were apparently evil too.
Well, I was raised by hippie peaceniks. They tried to keep me away from violence for a very long time because they thought it would make me violent. And, anyone who tells me that movies, TV, and video games are going to make me violent is going to get a serious ass kicking. No, I'm just kidding. But no, I mean, after a while they realized, no, Kate's not going to start cutting a bitch just because she watched Star Wars. So, yeah.
Now,
I was
Brian,
probably conceived to Star Wars because I'm a child of 77.
Brian,
Well, no, that's not. Not possible. Star Wars came out in the middle of the year. You wouldn't have had 9 months.
One came out in the 70s.
Okay, all right, gotcha.
I'll get to Brian in a second. You just made me think of okay, so in 77, I was exactly 10 years old. My mom was flipping through the newspaper and said, "Let's go see a movie." It was a Friday. I remember it was a Friday. You guys can do the Google search and find out what day Star Wars actually opened. I'm thinking it was a Friday in my mind. I have a pretty clear picture of this day. Also that week, guess what came out? Close Encounters of the Third Kind. And I had never heard of Star Wars. And Mom said, "What do you want to go see?" And I had seen the previews for Close Encounters. And guess what? We went to see opening day instead of fucking Star Wars: The New Hope. And I could have been there on day one, and I wasn't.
Well, you know why, Richard?
I
And
can
Jaws
make it so
too.
much worse. I can make that so much worse. I was raised in the 80s, and I could only convince my parents to get me basic cable. I missed out on MTV in the 80s. Just saying.
Wow. I didn't, but my father put a parental lock on the TV, and if I was watching MTV, he'd come running in. He goes, "You can't watch Madonna."
Okay,
Why
so
not? Her name's Madonna. She's religious. No.
So anyway, I was going to tell you
Brian-
some
go ahead.
trivia. So the reason why Richard Dreyfuss and Steven Spielberg weren't a part of Jaws 2 was because they were making Close Encounters of the Third Kind.
Oh, another little tangent. My brother and I just 2 months ago when I visited Brian, we were going through all the mountain states and we hit the
Devil's Tower.
Devil's Tower. We went and my brother has a drone, so he flew the drone over the mountain. You know,
That
from
was
the
a
movie.
great video, by the way.
Oh, it's awesome. All right, so
I've
Brian,
only seen
go
closest
ahead.
I've come to being there in person was Google Earth VR.
Oh yeah, Brian, we'll end with you. You know, I've known you working on 40 years, and I still don't the origins of why you picked this and your specific interests. Is there like an underlying theme, like Jen and Kate and I were talking about, and especially the like the 50s movie memorabilia purist type of
It
stuff?
all goes back to imagination and passion and imagination, you know, and that's one of the reasons why I feel like I'm one of, it's funny because a lot of my friends, I mean, I could name drop till the cows come home, you know, Forey Ackerman from Famous Monsters of Filmland magazine, Bob Burns, look him up. It's worth a Google. But these are people that I have hung out with and known for many years. And to me, it's keeping the history of the true passion and imagination alive. Back when, you know, like the filmmakers or the comic book makers were really treading into new ground, new territory, and really had to fight for it in a big way. When I was a kid, the first thing I fell in love with was dinosaurs, and I think a lot of people do. And then everything else just kind of went from there because in my head, dinosaurs could breathe fire and shoot laser beams out of their eyes. You know, they were like amazing. What the fuck is that? You know, it wasn't Jurassic Park. It was these weird paintings in these old books, you know, and it was like, what the fuck are these? And I see Godzilla and things like that. And then, of course, going to the stars, you know, the optimism of the future. My God, when I get to be in my 50s, it'll be like Tomorrowland in Walt Disney circa 1970, you know? Yeah, well, that changed. Dystopia much? But the thing is it's holding on to the innocence. First of all, to me, life is a game. And we all end up at the end of the game fucking dead. So my goal, personally, is to maintain putting my heart, as battered, ripped, Frankensteinian as it is, wear that fucker right on my sleeve and make it to the end with a little bit of fucking innocence left. That's my goal. So this stuff keeps that. It protects that. It encases it, and it fires passion. Obviously, you see, you know, I can get a little passionate and drunk, and imagination. And Jen, real quick, before I forget, because it happens a lot in your mid-50s, you showed earlier a Warlock comic that your gentleman back there brought up. I don't know if you'll recognize this homage, but here's a cover I did. And it's of the Micronauts, but I totally did it as an homage to Warlock. I don't know if you can tell.
Whoa.
Find that.
But and then the backdrop, the backdrop is also an homage to the one Iron Maiden album. I can't remember the name of it, but the one where he was suddenly Egyptian. It's a double Easter egg. But yeah, basically my version of Pharoid here is an homage to Warlock completely. But anyway, back to my first point is, where all this comes from for me. One, it's passion and imagination and maintaining innocence and excitement about life, right? Two is in the real world, not philosophically, but in the real world, I feel like I'm one of the last of the old guard holding, literary and film history of the past, imaginative film and imaginative literature, holding that alive. I mean, Ray Bradbury was Friends of Friends. I mean, these are the people I grew up around. And so it's me trying to hold down the fort, because as we spear forward, I mean, everything's disposable. It's like, oh, what's the new thing? And then five years later, I always imagine, like, when I have kids and they're like, even if they're nerdy and they're like into this, it's like, well, yeah, that came out 6 months ago. In 20 years, will you still be fucking dying for that? Will that still matter to you? Nice.
Oh, there
That's
it
some
is.
great art, man. Yeah, the classic Marvel covers were the best.
Oh, wow.
But
Guys,
to me, it's like these things I'm into really set the groundwork for everything to come. Like Tron. I mean, and this is not meant as a cut, obviously, because Matrix is amazing on its own. But you think about it, there would be no Matrix without Tron, right? And this is the evolution, and I love the evolution. Same thing with video games. It's like I'm amazed at what they've become.
I never
And
put
can
that
say right
together.
now, once we have a haptic suit and we can actually do Ready Player One, nobody's going to see me again.
Don't
Nobody's
get
gonna
me and
fucking
Kate
see
started
me.
on Ready
Until
Player
that
One.
day, make mine Atari.
Ready Player
So
One.
I must have missed something in the chat. Was someone telling me to kill myself because I'm a lesbian?
It looks
that sounds like something
Let's not make a
Matt
big
Powell
deal out
might
of
have
it.
done.
Someone was speaking in, I think, German, and I
Oh.
even put it on the screen. I thought it was something funny, but I guess it was,
Eh,
yeah. The rule
whatever.
number 3 of the Atheist Edge 23 Commandments is
people
to ignore
watching this?
trolls. Ignore trolls and have alligator skin. So we're just going to pretend that didn't happen.
Fair enough then. Yeah, well, and it's not like it's the first time anyway.
Yeah, I mean, you've dealt with Matt Powell, so.
Oh yeah. The horrible part is that YouTube removed the video where I called him out for his bullshit. Right? Like I put it up and they go, "This is too sensitive. This is too offensive." And I'm like, "Yeah, I'm calling
But you're
out the
not
guy who
telling
told
you
me
crap
that."
in the first place.
Oh well.
Perfectly fine.
The moderators, the manual reviewers, and the algorithm have a hard time differentiating between the hate and the response to the hate, especially if you're referring to the hate in your response.
Yeah. Well, there's hate and there's Kate. So
Oh, guys. You know what? I'm going to try to just their main links are in the description section. If you're not subscribed to Bionic Dance and Jen with one N, do that now. And if you haven't checked out Brian's artwork on Vox Art 9, that's in the description section as well. Is there anything that I left out? Anything you're working on that you want to shout out one last time? Anybody?
I
I
got
mean,
What's
nothing
that?
I didn't already say before. Remember, when
Yeah.
it comes out, Quinn Redshift. You're gonna love
Quinn
it. Trust me.
Redshift. Yep. And Brian,
I
you
got
need to
one.
get that
So you
deal.
mentioned Vox Art 9, which is my
Yeah.
other art, but for nerdy stuff, if you do any kind of Google search on Protectors of Inner Space, you'll see a lot of my crap.
Yep. And the thing is, until he gets a deal with the makers of Micronauts, it's too close to Micronauts. And if they're smart, they would bring him in and start a whole new, I could see a whole new generation of kids really, the Legos.
It's not going to happen. The less we talk about it, the better.
Yeah, true. All right. I think it really just, it wasn't just us. It sparked the imaginations of a whole generation of kids. And I think it could do that again. And
One thing I really miss about 80s entertainment is that it didn't have to be so grim all the time. I miss watching something like Star Wars where you can picture the characters laughing from time to time. I look at some of the new stuff like The Expanse and I go, I wouldn't hang out with any of these you people, so why would I spend an hour a week watching you? Because that, for me, that's a major criterion is, are these characters I'd like to spend an hour a week hanging out with them? And most of the characters in sci-fi these days, the answer is no. But I look at like the 1980s and I'm going, you guys could easily be my friends.
right. I'm going to wait for Brian to get back. I was trying to put a bow on this. Shoot. Oh, so let me put it up one more time for the people that are new and that didn't see it before. I'm really proud of it. Sorry, I'm gonna put it up one more time. So Courtney noticed that we just hit 1 million views on the channel. I guess it's a pretty cool milestone. So thank you guys, and that, like I said, it would fill. If individual views were people, it would fill Wembley Stadium 11 times. It'd fill Broadway Theater 568 times. So that's a, I mean, if you think about it, that's a lot of people watching. And I hate when YouTubers call them, or TikTokers or Instagrammers call themselves influencers. I guess you are an influencer, but if you don't have something poignant to say, something that's actually going to get people thinking, maybe you are an influencer, but in the wrong way. I think there's certain levels of influencer. If Courtney and I do influence, if Brian and Dance and Jen with one N do influence you, it's hopefully to get you to just think for yourself and critically evaluate your belief systems.
And treat people in a neighborly fashion, regardless of what you believe. Share and play nicely with the
Yes.
other kids.
Yes, and maybe don't comment on someone's sexual proclivity in another language, for instance. Jesus,
Well,
man.
I mean, like I cannot recall a time when someone has gone, "Oh my gosh, you're a lesbian," and I was like offended by it, you know?
20 years ago, it was, oh God, something like, oh, what? And now it's like people don't. That's when you've kind of. I'm sure there's a long way to go. I'm not a homosexual, but it seems like it's a lot better than the last 20 years. Anyway, that's a tangent. Guys, thank you so much. This has really exceeded my expectations. I was planning on going an hour and a half, and we're at 2:15 now. So that was a shit ton. You guys all three of you outgeeked the shit out of me. So I have some catching up to do, especially Babylon 5, the Orville, and I'm going to start Doctor Who at Eccleston, correct? That was from the 90s?
I hate to say it. I want to
Should I say it
replicate
at the
my
beginning?
experiences and recommend Tom Baker, but like the tone shift will probably be kind of jarring when you get to the more modern stuff, because it
Is
has
Tom
a
Baker
very
before
different flavor
Eccleston?
to it. Oh, very before. He was like
Oh,
the
fuck
fourth Doctor or the fifth
Really, I
Doctor?
need some.
something like that? But
I'm watching too much
also-
current events lately. Jesse Dollamore and the Ring of Fire and MSNBC, and I need to get away from the politics and bullshit. So I think this would be good for me
Well,
anyway.
if you
Love
watch
Jessica
any of the older Doctor Who, like Tom Baker era, after you have watched like enough of it to get a real sense of the flavor of it, watch Curse of Fatal Death with Rowan Atkinson. He plays the Doctor. It's parody, it's satire, and it's beautiful.
After I've gotten into it a while, Rowan Atkinson is
Yeah.
the shit.
Oh,
Curse of
I wish he
Fatal
would
Death.
actually play the Doctor. He'd be amazing at it. I mean, if he was that good in Curse of Fatal Death, he should do it for real.
Blackadder. Oh God, I
Oh,
can
yes.
watch that over and over again.
That was my first introduction to him. I've actually never watched Mr. Bean, but most people here in the US know him for that.
So
Yeah,
stupid.
that's no good because he doesn't talk much, and his dialogue is what wins him.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Okay, guys. I don't know where Brian went. He doesn't get to say goodbye. Thank you so much, guys, for watching, and we will. Oh, I forget the date. You can go in our channel because it's already up. But guess who I have? I think it's next week. Is Kenneth Humphreys. He's another original. Kate. He's one of the original. He before Richard Carrier, before Robert Price, before Bart Ehrman. He was one of the original Jesus mythicist debater guys. He was the old school before Truth Search. No, he's around the same time as Truth Search. So one of the original Jesus mythicists, the JesusNeverExisted.com guy, author of so many books I can't count. But yeah, he's going to be on next week. And so that will do it, guys. Thank you so much.
Have fun.